inside. Many items are on sale. Use their convenient drive-through window as well. And check out the grill at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. The grill is open for breakfast and lunch. Call your order in at 704-435-3259 and pick it up at the drive-through window. Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston. For your special party or special event, call on Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks in Gastonia for your party meal. From barbecue to chicken to ribs and steaks, you'll find it all with delicious trimmings. For your party, call Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks at 704-824-8838. Now in the new location at 305 South Main Street in Lowell, where it's easy in and easy out. Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks, open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 11 to 9:30. Sundays for lunch from 11 to 3. Join Melton Baker for the West End Cell Swap Shop, Monday through Friday on Carolina Country, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Incredible man, I only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do. When you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
Good morning and welcome to the first of the year. Happy New Year, everybody. KTC Broadcasting Saturday Morning Sports Talk, first show of the new year of 2022. Welcome once again to Kevin Hastings, Zach, Terry, and Tom.
Well, good morning. It's Shelby hitting in there. Saturday Morning Sports Talk now with myself. I'm Kevin, and Zach, Terry, Tom. Happy New Year, fellas. Last time I saw you, it was a different year. I guess I saw Zach yesterday and said that to him yesterday. So I'm seeing him next year, and I did. So good morning, everybody. I'm enjoying my biscuit. JP, have you ate yours yet?
Not yet, no.
Not yet, no.
Well, I ate my bacon, egg, and cheese on toast. Thank you, Terry, for stopping the Mitchums and getting that for us.
And I had a ham and cheese omelet.
And
It was fantastic.
I'm working on my bacon, egg, and cheese on toast since I just got here.
Yeah,
Running a little late this morning.
Zach walked in right as we got started, but he's here on time. We're going to be talking all kinds of things today, of course. We got NBA to get into. Tom's been talking about that as he got in this morning, his Cavaliers, and we got Hornets news and more. First, Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. Let me pull this up on for the folks at home. Let's see if my buttons still work right. Terry, I tried to get everything set up this weekend and do a little bit different, but didn't quite work like I wanted. But there we go. We can do that.
Just want you to know that my daughter's boyfriend, Jacob, was very happy to watch LaMelo Ball and the Hornets whoop up on the Rockets the other night. So he's very appreciative of those tickets.
Well, good.
But he was nervous because, LaMelo Ball came out late, like he didn't come out in the first shoot-around. So he thought, has this happened to me again? Have I come all the way to Charlotte to watch LaMelo Ball and not seen him? Hornets winners of 2 straight, though. They beat the Rockets, they beat the Pacers, and the Hornets are 7th in the Eastern Conference, Terry. Moving on up.
Congratulations.
They're in the play-in.
Yep. Yeah, you got to get out. You got to get out of number 7.
All right, we got college football to talk about. NFL winding down the season. Playoffs, of course, in college football. And
About them Cowboys.
Terry wants to talk about the Oklahoma State and their bowl game and how they did. I guess, is that what you're talking about, Terry?
Sorry about your Wolfpack not getting to play. Sorry about your Wolfpack.
That's a phony as it's sitting here and we're talking. A phony.
You think UCLA didn't want to play State at home?
Well,
we're gonna get in that in just a minute. We're gonna start first in the NBA where Tom was a few moments ago, and so pulling up the standings for the folks at home. Switch over for just a second, so Tom's gonna fuss at me because I don't have it where he can see it right. But
That's okay.
Anyway, Tom, you were saying about your Cavaliers. I guess I'll let you start there while you're.
Well, I've been watching them, and they get these huge first quarter leads, and then slowly they erode, and they lose in the second half. They don't have a guard right now because Sexton's out, Garland's on the protocol, Rubio went down with an ACL. They've tried a couple other guys. I think his name's Pagos. Guy's been playing in Europe, played for Gonzaga. He's been doing a pretty good job, all things considered. But I think he's not Darius Garland. So I think when they get
a guy coming though.
Yeah, we got Rondo coming. We traded Valentine. I kind of like Valentine. Valentine was a Michigan State guy, Big Ten guy. I thought he was helping out a little bit, but they need a true point, I guess. So they went out and got Rondo. And I guess they have a philosophy here. We need to get in the playoffs now and make ourselves relevant again. Because you know how it works in the NBA. If you're not relevant, nobody wants to go there. Terry, nobody wants to go to Sacramento because they're not relevant.
Well, you know what's funny is you went and got Rondo, former Laker.
I didn't play last night.
I know, but to come to your squad, Cleveland, and your squad's in a better situation than the Lakers is.
Yeah. Well,
how about that?
It didn't take long for LeBron's ego to kind of ruin the Lakers a little bit out there.
Yeah.
And now it's, they're talking about getting rid of Anthony Davis. Say he has some of the talking heads on the TV say he has a work ethic problem, Terry. Work ethic
he probably does.
That's why he's hurt all the time. I don't know. I think, it's kind of not fair for me to say, but what do the Lakers do if they don't have Davis anymore? I mean, who are they going to get? Who's going to be the Batman, the Robin to Batman out there? I just don't see the Lakers doing very much this year. And
it goes back to like LeBron was when he is coming up. If that happens, he'll think he's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Hey, give me the ball. I'll do everything. Y'all just fill in when I need you. If I need a big shot, then I need somebody who'll hit a big shot like he's always had on his squad. Yeah. But, come on.
Their demise is very much Schadenfreude for me. I'm kind of enjoying the Lakers not doing well this year.
Yeah, me too.
But like I said, the Cavs give you hope. They'll blow some teams out, and then they're losing these leads. So I think in the middle of the pack, you take a lot of these, you take like the Cavs, the 76ers, the Hornets. I think it depends on what night it is. You watch them one night, and they're horrible, and you watch them the next night, and it's like, hey, man, they could be the 2 or 3 seed in this conference. So, it's interesting because I may be wrong because I haven't followed it as closely until the last couple of years. It seems like, there's always that super team that dominates in basketball, or at least it was in recent years. But now I think there's more parity. That I guess you could say that the Golden State Warriors and the Brooklyn Nets are maybe a little bit ahead of everybody. Or the Bucks are right up there too. But I think there's more parity, Terry, and I think it makes it more interesting.
I think it does the total. Because you got a lot of teams that's in the Western that can be successful every night, and then they got the worst records this year than the Eastern Conference does. But I like the Eastern Conference. Now you got Chicago up on top. Talking
Chicago,
about Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and all those. But all of a sudden now you got Cleveland in the number 5 spot, and Philadelphia's all the way down to number 6, and Boston is number 9.
Yeah, and I was just telling. I was talking to my daughter about that, and I said, it must be the 90s again because Chicago's good. Because they've won a bunch in a row. But there is more parity, and that's going to make it more interesting because it seems like, you watch in Atlanta, Capella and Young are going to make that team competitive against anybody. And they've got some other guys that can fill in there. But it seems like every team has got like a couple of really good players. And that makes them competitive just about against anybody in the league. And it makes it more fun. when you've got, there's still some really lousy teams like Detroit's only won 5 games all year. But it's still that I think especially in the East, which I pay a little bit more attention to, the middle of that conference is a lot of parity. Just like when I went and watched the 76ers play the Hornets. It was a good game. And if old dumb Borrego doesn't try to isolate P.J. Washington on Embiid late in the game, the Hornets might
Might
win
steal
that
one.
game. Might
Yeah.
have won that game, but I think that any game, middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference, is fun to watch because it's going to be competitive.
I'm surprised that the Chicago Bulls have held serve as steady as they played all year. That was the one I thought might trickle back down into that 6, 7, and 8 spot.
Yeah, who's the guy for Chicago scoring?
DeRozan.
Levine.
No, they have DeRozan, but they've got
Levine.
Levine.
Yeah. He's an athletic freak.
Yeah,
He's
like
unbelievable.
Levine scoring like 25, 30 points every game. So, I guess we sort of forgotten about Chicago because they haven't been as,
And they don't have that superstar.
Right. They don't have
got that
yeah.
really good. It's like a lot of stars that meshed really good together. Their styles play good together, and they're a good basketball team.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Pistons back in the day. They had stars, but not really a superstar. When not the 80s Pistons, but the Rasheed Wallace, the Chauncey Billups year, Rip Hamilton. They had a lot of stars.
Yeah. I think Brooklyn's going to separate themselves once everybody gets healthy and everybody's. If we even figured out what Irving's going to do? I mean, have we even figured out that one yet?
Well,
I mean,
is he going to play? Is
he
not
going to
gonna
play? I think if they ever get all that worked out, I think Brooklyn's got the most talent.
And you look at it in Milwaukee with 13 losses, they just hanging around.
Yeah, but
until
they've
the
had
end.
a lot of issues with COVID.
Oh, they have.
Like when Cleveland went up there and beat up on them, but no Middleton, no Giannis, no Holiday. They were a pretty depleted team, and that's kind of misleading about it. A lot of teams is a lot of guys have had guys out with a health and safety protocol, and you might be out a week, you might be out 10 days. I mean, you might be out a while. And there's a ton of guys playing on 10-day contracts right now.
Yeah,
Atlanta had a guy
That's
out there. I mean, he was playing really well. His guys on. He was coming in for Capella. He was the backup center, but he's on a 10-day contract. A lot of guys are going to get chances now.
Isaiah
on these
Thomas
10-day,
came in like that for the Lakers. Isaiah Thomas came in with 10-day, finished it out, and then immediately signed with maybe the Timberwolves or something.
Yeah,
out there, and he's on another 10-day contract and played well.
Yeah. So the COVID's opening up some opportunities for some of these guys. So, we pay more attention to the East, and then Kevin went in there. I want to see if we pull up the West and how far ahead is Golden State. I don't know if Zach can man the computer over there, but I can pull it up on my phone. The Warriors are just a half game ahead of the Suns. The Suns playing pretty well too. And then I saw Rudy Gobert's having another monster year rebounding. Jazz only a game and a half back. So, yeah, the top of the West seems like it's going to be come down to why everybody likes the Warriors. But what do you think, Terry? Can the Suns, Jazz pull that one off?
Well, I mean, they can. I mean, can Golden State continue with the pace that they're going? I like their team. I like how they play. Phoenix, they've beat Golden State one time. They beat them the first time, I think, and then they've lost the last two to them. As far as Utah's always been up there since Mitchell and them have got there and Gobert. And then you go down to Memphis. Memphis, to me, is very surprising that they're up there in the top. I mean, they're pretty consistent every year, but this year being in the 4th spot, I think that's an upper ledge for them, and Denver right behind them, and then the Clippers. But then we also like where the Lakers are at in the play-in game.
18 and 19.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
So they'll, against the Dallas Mavericks, and then Minnesota and San Antonio has crept their way back into it. But look at their record, 14 and 20. Now, to me, guys, I don't know. I get very disgusted when I see teams who have losing records and make the playoffs. To me, I mean, why? How? So, I mean, you got an opportunity. I understand what we're doing here, but I do not agree with a team that's 6 games below 500 making a playoff.
What are you going to just shorten the playoffs for that conference?
No, you just go to 8 teams. I mean, then you're 17 and 18. You're only 1 game under 500, but when you're 6 and can still make the playoffs.
What about this year, Terry, where a lot of teams might be out their best players 2 or 3 games? I mean, you get a batch of COVID come through your team, then you're in trouble, man.
Oh well, that's not my fault.
I'm just saying that there's some circumstances that may affect that. So I don't know. I always think more games are better. They're better for gamblers, and they're better for bored people who don't have anything else to do because there's always a game on, Terry. Even if it's a team with a losing record, you get more games.
I guess
you can get one of those accounts and parlay some, and do a little gambling.
How can you gamble on this?
Y'all think it's easier for the? Let's just say this as an example: the Giants, when they came in, as like 7-9 in the playoffs, maybe 8-8, and took down the Patriots when they had the 15-1. Or do you think it's easier for them to get the win all the way through, or one of the lower seed basketball teams?
Oh, to continue all the way through? I think it may be.
Yeah,
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, injuries.
I was going to think
You don't
maybe
have to play one
basketball.
game?
I was thinking maybe basketball. But
You got to beat Golden State 4 times, Terry.
yeah.
Or you got to beat. Or you got to beat. Who's
What
the
if
best?
it's
Who's
Brooklyn
the best team
down there and they never had Kyrie, and then all of a sudden Kyrie comes back? Wouldn't that change everything? Yeah, it would change everything.
When you said you don't like the teams that come in
Does he play?
without a winning record
No,
to
he
make it in
doesn't
the
play. He
playoffs,
plays
and I was thinking with the Giants they did go all the way through possibly, and some of these teams I couldn't see the San Antonio Spurs
Winning, no,
against Golden State, making it all the way through the championships. What I'm saying, I don't see that. I think it'd be harder
Because you got to beat them 4 times.
right.
I mean,
So you don't have the Lakers winning championship. They're in the play-in right now.
no.
I think they'd have a
Under
hard time. I think they would have a hard
500.
time in that play-in game.
We're enjoying the fact that
Yeah.
they're not very good this year. See, but I heard, Kevin, that they were thinking about moving off of Anthony Davis. Who are they going to get? What are they going to get for him?
It's everybody's fault but LeBron's.
Yes, exactly.
I heard it. I mean,
It always is.
a couple times I've heard this last couple of weeks that he is envious of the Cleveland Cavaliers right now because of their youth and the record and their
God,
spot
Tom.
in the.
Uh-oh.
You're
get
hearing,
Rondo,
rumors
then you
that
get Davis.
he's going to come back. So they already set him up with Rondo being there.
What Cleveland did is they hit on a number of draft picks, and that's what you have to do. You've got to hit your draft picks. And, Mobley's good, Okoro's good, Sexton's good, Garland's good. I mean, if you hit on your draft picks, that's just when
Would you take Davis?
Would not.
For what?
I wouldn't either. That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't.
If I was Cleveland, I'd not take him. I
No.
would not want him.
No.
I'm doing good with what I got. Why do I need him?
You'd have to give up way too much anyway.
Well, the biggest thing with him is the injuries. Any big man that stays hurt,
Mm-hmm.
it's no matter what his skills, they're going to try to find a spot for him and everything. But it's not. It's one of those things where you're not like the Ben Simmons situation. You're not getting anything whichever your team thinks his value is. It's not the same to other
He hasn't
teams.
played yet either, has he?
No,
No,
I heard you mention
no.
Chicago. They are in first place right now with the Brooklyn Nets. Their depth. I mean, they just got. So this is the way I like to put the Hornets players. And forever, we've always had a good, roster of backups and B players. Like if we had 2 stars, we would compete. So let's say they're all B's and C's. Charlotte. The Bulls are all like A minuses and B pluses, and so they're like slightly better as a team of that. And so they've got guys that can get 30 a night. Levine and DeRozan, they're all dangerous. I'd be worried about them in the East, but I think they can knock a team off that ain't prepared or that has a COVID problem because of their depth, like Milwaukee. If Giannis or somebody else goes down, Middleton, he has no help. But I mean, for real though, Zach and Terry, do you think your Celtics or our Hornets are getting through Miami, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, or Chicago in a 7-game series?
Not Boston.
Charlotte ain't getting through any of them people.
No.
The defense, what we talk about that every week, where it fluctuates with the Hornets. They given up 115. That's scored. I forgot they were 1 and scoring 2. That's how bad it is. In defense, they're giving up 116. The highest scoring. Let me tell you who the highest scoring offenses are. If they're giving up 116, the Hornets are 115. The next in the East is 111. Like they're giving up 5 more points than the best scoring offense on average than the best scoring offense in the East is getting. The defending champs. In the West, the only team that's scoring more than 115 is the Utah Jazz, and then the next is at 111. And there's like 4 teams there. So that you're not beating anybody in the playoffs like that. I think the problem, guys, that I have, looking at these, that we see these teams down 6, 7, 8. What Zach was asking, you see in the NFL, a team can make a run. That's what I'm saying. You win 2, 3 games, get hot. Other teams injuries, you don't know. You can't do that in the NBA. Not from 7, 8, 9, unless you had your whole season. Say Steph Curry's out and they get the 7th seed. You know what I mean? So, and they're sitting there, and Klay Thompson still ain't dribbled yet, has he?
I don't think he has.
No. Well, I think, and when we was talking about DeRozan, to me, I think him going to San Antonio was not a good thing for him. I think it was just a step in the block for him because when he was at Toronto, he was a heck of a player. Then he went to San Antonio. You never really heard much. Now that he's back at Chicago, he's become himself again. So I don't know whether San Antonio, the Popovich, is the coaching wise took away from him.
Terry, he hasn't done a good job of coaching. Period. Anything.
Yeah, no. Well,
in the
that's
last
true.
5 to 6 since Duncan retired, he quit. To me, he cashed out. And whether that's just an opinion, but to me, he's just.
But I would have liked to have
Give
Duncan
up,
on my
hasn't he?
squad too.
Yeah.
Do what?
Thorough, fundamentally sound. I mean, that's all.
DeRozan?
No, Duncan.
Yeah,
Duncan.
He tends to help.
Yeah, he does help you.
Yeah,
no matter what you're doing.
That whole time, that Popovich had,
it was good. They had Ginobili to carry him.
They had Ginobili. They had Tony Parker. They had back when Robinson was there. They've had talent.
Well, all right. It's, out west, it is so surprising me. Only 4 teams are over 500. 5 teams over 500. Denver 1 game over, and then in the East, you've got everyone else above it. Who's the kind of looking in college basketball in the mock draft scenes? Who's the big stars or prospects for next year? Anybody know? Tom, Terry, or
coming out of college?
Right? Yeah. Looking.
Oh, it's too hard to keep up with. Everybody's one and done. All these guys. Now it's a bunch of games getting canceled, not being played.
All I had to do is watch State play, and I get very mad. That's all I do. And then I turn the television off.
How many years you been doing that, Terry?
Yeah, quite often.
Well, I mean,
yeah. But this year's even worse, Kevin.
Why is that?
I don't know. We like the other team having layups.
And plus you got to consider all these people playing in Europe that you don't maybe know about.
Well, let me let's go over here and we'll do a little quick what it's looking like in the draft. And the kid from Duke, Banchero, 1. Jabari Smith of Auburn, 2. Holmgren of Gonzaga, 3. Pelicans, Jaden Ivey, that's a 4 from Purdue. Rockets, Hardy from the G League, 6'10" kid. 6'11" guy from Memphis. Nikola Jovic from Serbia. I would say pick him. Pick
Yeah.
Listen,
Always pick the European
it almost
guys.
pick the best European available. It's like 80, 75. I'd say that's a 75% hit. I mean, how often do you see the number 1 overall European that's picked not be a decent NBA player? Kentucky, Iowa, Arizona, Michigan, G League, Milwaukee.
They give you a comp on the right hand side. Isn't that funny?
And it's just ridiculous. Yeah, we're gonna pick. Let's see.
More advanced Capella. Wouldn't you be pissed off if you read that? This guy's a more advanced me, and he hadn't even played 1 game in the NBA.
6th overall pick. They're comparing him to Dwight Howard. Okay, yeah. So Zach, you pick a Hall of Fame center at 6.
Would I?
That's what I'm saying. I know that, but I'm saying like the comparison, like Tom saying the comparison. This guy's compared to D Wade and Dirk Light. What is JJJ? I don't even know. Rashard Lewis, Chris Webber is who they're comparing the Duke kid. Banchero, too. Terry, you got any comment on that? I haven't seen him.
Now, I've seen him play. He's a good player, and he's only one and done for sure. There's no way he's staying. But is he a number 1 and going to be elite? Here we go again with Williamson. Has New Orleans succeeded with Williamson down there?
Well,
I don't think so. I know that's what I'm saying. I do not think so. I mean, for what I thought he was going to help my squad and the overall pick for him, I do not think he's helped them. And, I mean, that's what you're getting when you're coming out of college. Is this guy going to be elite? I mean, Hansborough was one tough guy in college, but not in the NBA. I mean, there's a total different aspect that you have to look at.
And another thing also that we always talk about is who's your coach?
Oh,
Who's
it
your general
does.
manager?
It does.
Who are the scouts?
What kind of offense you run?
You look at Hansborough's PER minutes and advanced stats that everybody likes to talk about. They're right there with all the other power forwards in the NBA.
Well, the reason that you say that, and I say that often, because when Kemba was in Charlotte, from Kemba going from Charlotte to Boston, Boston's offense was not good for Kemba.
Right, we talked about
now
that all
that
the
he's
time.
went to New York, it's back in his playing ground, It's just Boston's. It depends on where you're at.
The problem with Kimba is his defense. Have y'all seen? So Thibodeau's a defensive coach, and when they show the highlights of Kimba playing defense and why he gets taken out, it's there's a reason he gets taken out, y'all. I'm not. You know, people are bad at defense sometimes, but his effort, and coaches don't like that. Yeah. And his effort on defense sometimes, that when they show him take him out, Twitter they kill him on Twitter because he's in New York. So everybody, anything they do. Kimba trends so much on Twitter, it's crazy, and I have to see that and then look at it, and he's just not hustling or not guarding anybody, and they're like, "What's he doing tonight?" And so those are some fun questions. Does that say? Oh, I say his wingspan. I was like 7'6".
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
It's like 3 overall pick. Terry, looking at you talking about. I always like to bring this up. Duke players, whether they work out in the NBA or not. I'm gonna make 2 points here. One, so I'm Tar Heel fans don't get too excited when I say this, but Duke players only have 8 NBA championships. Well, I mean that is, and I think 2 of them's like Danny Ferry, or 2 or 3 of them's like Danny Ferry. I was trying to find the exact list. Quinn Cook Quinn Cook has 2. Kyrie has a couple. Jones, no,
Kyrie played 7 games for Duke.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like. Yeah. It's only 5 Duke players have a combined.
Does he get an honorary degree for that?
But before,
probably.
All right, here were the ones: Jeff Mullins in 1975, Danny Ferry in 03, Battier 1-2, Kyrie Irving, Dante Jones, and then who was the last one we just said a minute ago? There was one more: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Irvin.
2 more. No, Kyrie's on here with his 2016 title. Quinn Cook, 1-2 was the other 2. So there's your illustrious Duke players of NBA champions, Tom. It's Jeff Mullins, Danny Ferry, Shane Battier, Kyrie, Dante Jones, and Quinn Cook.
Battier was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Battier was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. How many of the other ones, but I'm saying, like, how many other Duke stars are not on that list? And then as far as you Tar Heel fans go, and I've pointed out for the last 20 years in Roy Williams that not since Dean Smith recruited someone at North Carolina has a single player that wore a Tar Heel jersey averaged 20 points in the NBA or made an all-star team. No Matt Doherty recruits, no Bill Guthridge, not a single Roy Williams recruit in North Carolina ever averaged 20 points or made a single all-star team. Dean Smith, I think, had 37 championships. I think I'm looking at it here. I mean, it's not even close to recruiting wise, and so I don't know. The one and done killed a lot of it.
It's killed everything. Killed coaching.
It's like you look at this, the draft picks that are coming out. It's a crapshoot on those guys. You don't know that Chet Holmgren is first year at Gonzaga, and if you've watched him play, I mean, he plays defense pretty well, but I think he's only scoring like 14 points a game, and he's.
What I don't understand is why do they even play college when there's a G League? Mm-hmm. Just go to the G League.
Some of them have been doing that.
Well, now with the name, image, likeness, that they're gonna, I think they'll
pull more into the
pull
college.
them back into the college ranks.
I think you get more recognition from in college than you do the G League.
Well, you will, because you're right. It's the television thing. So now that they're going to do name, image,
they're
likeness,
not going to show
these
G
basketball,
League too much.
Yeah, these basketball players are going to be like,
they're going to know who you are.
I can go to right. I can go to Duke. I can go to Duke and get $1 million though. But we'll see what happens with that. The Duke's going to have to pay their players once K's gone. I don't know who wants to go to Duke and play for Chris. Who is it? Is it Collins? Ain't that the who's coming next? Terry. It's his assistant, John Collins. John, one of those.
I can't remember. I know.
Either way, nobody's coming to play for him. I mean, why would you, unless you're getting paid $1 million to go to Durham?
Well, Durham's beautiful, man.
Yes, Tom.
It's a lovely town.
Yes,
great. It's on everybody's bucket list. Durham, North Carolina.
Tom makes trips over every week.
Just make trips over there.
Yeah.
Him and Coach K go out.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, well, Terry, you got any more college basketball comments before we start to move on here in just a few moments?
After today, North Carolina State will be below 500.
Who they play?
Florida State.
They ain't lost yet, Terry.
Well, we're 7-7, so there you go. Getting ready to be 7-8.
Man, well.
Promise me, and I'll set here as now, Florida State will have at least 40 points off of layups.
It's off of layups. Terry,
That's bad to say, y'all.
That sounds like a lot.
Very,
Is
very.
that a lot?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Should you have 40 points off of layups? No.
All right, so what we do need to mention, really important in college basketball, happened this week. The Gardner-Webb Bulldogs
They beat Georgia.
How about that?
beat Georgia. They are the giant killers.
Ohio State hadn't played since December 11th. They haven't played since December 11th.
How many teams does Gardner-Webb beat? These big teams.
They beat Colorado
Kentucky,
State
didn't they?
1 year.
They beat Kentucky.
Gardner-Webb?
Yes,
When?
like 3 or 4 years ago, Tom.
Did they beat
John Calipari took one from the Dogs.
Why can't I remember
They
that?
played Carolina
This
and
one in
Duke both
Kentucky
this
was
year
no
too.
good.
I remember
They had a lot of talent.
They almost beat
but-
Carolina 1 year, didn't they? Gardner-Webb.
See, that's what bothers me with these one and dones. It's a crapshoot because if them guys cannot play together, and Calipari's had them at Kentucky when they was below 500,
Tom,
didn't make
there
the
it
84-68.
So
They
there you
blew them
go.
out in Kentucky.
Did they really?
In
How
Lexington.
How did I forget about that?
I don't know.
How many years ago was that?
Let's see. I'm looking for the.
2007.
There you go. 12 years ago. 13, 14. Geez,
15.
Well, 15,
Oh, well, 14
technically,
because it was the end of 14.
So there you go. The Bulldogs. I don't know if Calipari was there. Who was that? Tubby Smith? It's probably.
I would think so.
And then not Calipari. But either way.
You
yeah.
said 2 or 3 years ago it was 14.
Well, that's close.
They got a win over Kentucky though. Tom,
I knew
on
that,
their list.
Tom.
How's that?
He's gonna nitpick my years.
see
He's sound like my
the web.
kids.
No, see
Well,
it.
I
Dad.
remember when Dick Vitale said Colorado State was playing cupcakes. Gardner-Webb came in there, beat him, and then he had a Gardner-Webb T-shirt on eating a cupcake. I remember that. And that was probably about 7-8 years ago. It's been a while. They beat them.
Oh goodness, so yeah.
Gardner-Webb is no cupcake, though.
That's a
Didn't the
Shelby
great
getting in
Dennis Davis coach at Gardner-Webb?
there.
Wasn't he an assistant there at one time?
I believe so.
The great Dennis Davis, our own Dennis Davis. I'm sure he was proud of that. You have to call him up and tell him.
Heck, did he remember that one?
Yeah, you probably.
All right, we'll be back in a few moments. We've got college football to talk about. We're going to let the guys. Now, bad picks do not consist of yesterday's game, so we're going to get that in a few minutes. But it's 11 minutes long, so we're going to dash it up in 2 different segments for us because we had a lot of bad picks. I think one of us missed every NFL game at some point. JP does make an appearance on the show as a player a few times.
Scary.
You are a player. Remember? Okay, I got to get your camera working here in a second, by the way. All right, Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. Terry, before we go to break, I have a crucial question for you. Name me, if you can, Spider-Man's superpowers and who Spider-Man is. You know this one, don't you? Tom, that is unprofessional.
Yeah. It is.
Terry.
I've
Zach,
already
you-
answered. I've already answered.
What'd you say? I need y'all to pitch in.
Cypress.
Spider-Man's powers.
Spidey sense,
He's got Spidey sense. What can he do?
webs.
He web. He can crawl on walls. He's got spider strength.
Yeah, he's pretty smart.
He's basically Spider-Man, right? That's all I need. That's all the questions I have. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes to talk KTC broadcasting. Sports will go. Let's see, probably college football when we come back on KTC.
Here's some good news. It's 2 for 1. 2 good companies have now become one great company. Hopper Heating and Air in Shelby and Shelby Heating and Air have combined their businesses to become Shelby Heating and Air. David Hopper invites you to call on them for all of your heating and air conditioning needs with name brands like Carrier and Goodman, plus complete service and repair. Shelby Heating and Air and Hopper Heating and Air. Now one. Give them a call at 704-487-7877 today. Buy 2, get 1 free at Teddy's Emporium Outlet and Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. But that's not all. Many items are now 25% off, and all remaining Christmas merchandise, half price, 50% off. All shelves are marked that has these big discounts. Toys, and more toys. They've still got them. Shop and save anytime at Teddy's Emporium Outlet and Eastridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook, too. The big truck has backed up and unloaded tons of beautiful furniture at Kurt's Premium Outlet and Eastridge Mall in Gastonia, like Crown Mark vanity, mirror, and stool. All 3 are for $109. Lamps with shades, $29.95. Glass top tables, $88. Kurtz has big bar with sink, 2 drawers, and 2 doors for $13.99. A Bladen sectional sofa is $11.99, and you'll find a huge selection of recliners. Kurtz Premium Outlet, Eastridge Mall, North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook, too. Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia presents their Sign Then Drive sales event going on right now. Right now, pay no money down, make no security deposit. The first month's lease payment's $0 and pay no money down at signing. Come in for all the details. Don't miss it. The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia, 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at classicvwgastonia.com. If you're in the market for new flooring, go to this area's most recommended flooring store. That's Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Flooring America in Kings Mountain is where friends send friends for their flooring needs. And right now, you'll find the ever-popular luxury vinyl plank for only $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. All during the Fresh Start Flooring Sale. Give your home a refresh with one stop at Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Online at flooringamericakingsmountain.com.
At Coyote Tractor, we hold dirt in the highest regard. That's why we're digging up some of our best deals so you can get out there and plan. We've got cash back and 0% financing offers available on 22 to 110 horsepower tractors, utility vehicles, and zero-turn mowers. Coyote, we dig dirt. Offer cannot be combined. Financing subject to credit approval. Some restrictions apply. See your authorized Coyote Tractor dealer for details.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, 27 West intersection in Vail.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. They're talking, is it college football now?
Yeah, we're talking everything.
Everything.
What a couple of yawners. I wonder what Terry's Michigan hat was.
No.
Where's your Michigan hat?
No, I want to, Tom, before we get into all that, I want to throw something out there pretty serious. Shane Frady, him and his wife have been put in Glen R. Fry Hospital in Hickory, and I want to throw out my blessings to them. They've been in there since December the 15th. Both of them come down with COVID, and his wife, I think, is supposed to come home this weekend. So she spent Christmas up there, and Shane is still there. They got him in an induced coma on account of he's got COVID so bad. So my thoughts and prayers are with them. He is one of my umpires over here at our West Lincoln Optimist program. So, just pray for him if you can, y'all.
Well, I certainly can understand, as my dad was in there for 31 days this time of year last year, came home on Christmas, and, that's who the phone call was from. My dad is having a little infection. Again, it wasn't, we don't think it's COVID this time because he's had all his shots, but once you get over it, you're still not over it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still, and once you get something else, it's going to be bad for a while. So I completely understand, Terry, and just hope your friend gets better real soon.
Go ahead.
All right.
We're good.
We're going on to
College football.
football.
Go ahead.
Oh, did we mention Shelby Heating and Air making this possible?
Hey, I'm telling you, every week.
Yeah, Shelby Heating and Air.
That's right.
We got the
You
phone number.
put
We
your
got the phone
wife
number.
off.
We got the phone number, Kevin.
I mean, you can put your kids off,
I'm
but
working on
have a
that.
hard time putting your wife off because when she says, hey, I need some heating and air.
Need the heat
Call
and air. There it
Shelby
is.
Heating and Air.
487-7877. Both those years, Terry was still had his youthful vigor. That's how you can remember that. 7877 487-7877. Call Shelby Heating and Air. And I will tell you, I've spoken personally with the owner. If you want some detailed information on heating and cooling systems, Shelby Heating and Air has all the information you would need, all the different selections, varieties, because you can really, there's a lot of choices you have when making your home heating, home cooling decisions. And Shelby Heating and Air can answer all those questions for you.
All right, yesterday's games. I didn't watch either one of them, so y'all go ahead.
Oh, yesterday's games.
Wow.
Here we go. Yesterday's games, total blowouts. No sense in watching it.
Did you watch the college football playoff? No. What do you do? Well, I have a sports show.
Well, that's true.
But I didn't watch either one
I've
of the
never
games.
seen John McEnroe pick the Notre Dame Georgia game.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. Here's my deal. No more. If you're not a Pac-5 or your Big 5 or your top time 5 or what.
No, Terry.
Huh?
No.
How many Michigan
went and
How many
got
Michigan
blown
score?
out.
I don't care.
But
Cincinnati
they're allowed
had
to
their
play.
opportunity.
So, but
No.
Michigan's allowed to go in next year, but Cincinnati's not. Is
Yep,
that what you're saying?
you're right.
No.
Cincinnati,
That's
I
the
mean, you
dumbest.
were the one bringing
Well,
in the
just
barrel.
when I think you can't say anything dumber,
No.
you go out and say
No.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard
No.
you say. You sound like my brother. My brother is upset because he works for a company that's got some people that in the Midwest, and they've been giving him the Cincinnati's the best team in Ohio stuff, and that really just pisses him off. So he's glad that Cincinnati got, and he puts on his Facebook, this is why the group of five shouldn't be in. And I hate to say, I remember a year not too long ago, Ohio State got beat 31-0 by Clemson.
Trounced.
Didn't we beat Michigan in the big
But
house?
at the same time, Ohio State has beat Alabama in the playoff. They have beat Clemson in the playoff. So if we judged Ohio State on their 31-0 loss to Clemson and Crabbo Sweeney, and you realize how hard that was for me to take, Terry, losing 31-0 to Crabbo.
Cincinnati scored
Crybaby.
6 more points than Ohio State.
But Cincinnati
Michigan got 11 more.
got beat. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of other teams that would have got beat.
No, but here's your deal. If it was set up the way it was supposed to be set up, it
Right,
would have been
like I
Michigan playing Cincinnati. And then we would have said, okay, here's your opportunity. Because your two best teams are there playing for your championship again. And anybody who is in their right mind, as I'm sitting here today, that can call me or anything they want to and think Georgia's going to beat Alabama, get you a new boat because it's going to sink as soon as you just swivel all out
What
into
does
the
that
water.
even mean, get you a new boat?
Well, it
What
is.
does
It's
that
like
even
choking
mean?
that chicken.
Well,
And that
throw it in.
you know,
What I would have done, and the man sitting across from me is the conspiracy theorist here, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I will tell you this. ESPN did not want Georgia and Alabama playing in the first round, which they should have.
you're right.
They should have.
they should.
Because
I agree.
Georgia, which team was not a conference champion? Georgia.
So
Georgia should have been the 4 seed,
Yep.
played Alabama.
Georgia shouldn't be in this tournament at all.
Correct. But if you're going to do it like this, Kevin, they should have been the 4.
If you're using opinions, you can do whatever you want to with it, which is what they do.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, they shouldn't even be in the tournament at all. And this is what I don't like about this, because we'll look at in retrospect, well, they beat Michigan. But Michigan won their championship. You've already lost to Alabama.
Yeah.
So they got their chance at Alabama. You did not.
You've
not. Already lost your chance. That's my deal.
Yep.
You had your
I
chance.
agree.
You should be the champ. You're not the champ. So I don't know. I don't know who should be in this game, whether it's Oklahoma State or I don't know, or Utah or who. But either way, or who should be in the playoffs. But it shouldn't have been a non-championship team. Think about it. Like I said, you don't have the Big 12 champion. You don't have the Pac-12 champion. And you don't have the ACC champion. And you've got a non-Power 5 and a second-place ACC team. I mean, SEC team. So whatever way they've done it, it's bad whether or not. But then again, does it really matter if Alabama's got all the NFL players on their roster?
No, it doesn't. Well, Georgia's got how many 5-stars on their defense? Georgia had more 5-stars on their defense than the entire Pac-12.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know they had talent. I know what the argument is, well, we want to get the best teams. But it doesn't work that way. It's not supposed to work that way.
Right.
And
Right.
Kevin and I
I
are
don't
like
like that.
exactly the same on this, that the year that Ohio State went, Penn State won, Ohio State went and played Clemson. And I'm an Ohio State fan, so naturally, okay, well, my team's in the playoff. But I felt they didn't deserve it. You weren't the conference champ. Go, and that's why Notre Dame would never be in my playoff, because you don't play in a conference. Go, and even like
would any other conference have a second-place team in it?
no,
And it's
But-
every
but
year with
even
SEC.
Any other one?
No.
but even
No.
this is the reason why I don't like Notre Dame, because remember Auburn almost beat Alabama, a very mediocre Auburn team almost beat Alabama. You know why? It's a rivalry. They know you. They know your players. They probably recruited a lot of your players that went there. They
And
know,
we all
they know
knew.
about you, and that's a tough game to win. Notre Dame doesn't have to do that, but that's why conference champion's important, because you beat those teams that know you, that hate you, that are going to give you everything they got.
And we knew that when they had Alabama playing Georgia, we knew then that Alabama was going to beat them, because once that happened, then there's two of them get in.
Well, that's
We
the only
knew
reason
that.
Alabama could get in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to happen again, because now you got a Georgia team. Okay, here's your opportunity. I always talk about that all the time. Your opportunity to make yourself good, but you're playing Alabama. okay, show me something because I got a feeling you're not going to win this one neither. Alabama, you've knocked on the door a few times, but Alabama's always there to put you out.
Yeah, I think that Alabama's going to beat Georgia. I don't know. It's tough to beat somebody twice, though, Terry. I will say.
Not in college football.
It's tough. I don't know. I disagree. I think it's going to be tough to beat them twice.
I think the Georgia coach was from Alabama. He coached under Saban.
I bet if you go back and look,
Saban does pretty well against his former.
I agree.
So, if you go 75%, I would say of the team who wins the first time will win the next time.
I don't know if it's the same season, Terry.
Probably in college.
I don't know how much data you would have on
all that data is in that noggin.
That's it. It's good.
Now
it's fact.
I did see online that Harbaugh, was it in his first drive, ran a flea flicker and went for it on fourth down? So if I see that on your first drive in a playoff game, Terry, is that not saying you don't
believe in your team? That's it.
That's what people think. Now, me, if I'm a play caller, I like calling plays like that, and I would just call them all the time. But to start a game where we're going for it on fourth down, not going to, instead of punting it and pinning them deep, to start the game off, and then I see the score, I'm like, well, that's probably why he did that.
Yeah, Michigan couldn't move the ball.
Harbaugh's a snake.
I hate Harbaugh.
They're both of them are snakes.
He beat Ohio State
one time.
They're both snakes.
He stopped that curse.
I'd like to see Nick Saban go to Iowa and win the championships and see if he's such a great coach. Just going up there, pull that one off. Go to Duke. Spurrier had fun at Duke. Mac Brown's doing great in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, he
6
sure
and 7,
did.
baby.
So let's mention that because we're going to do the bad picks here in a few minutes once it gets uploaded.
We all picked Carolina. Is that not the?
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah,
they
we
went
should have known better.
7-6.
We should have
6 and 7, I believe it was.
No,
6 and 7.
Mac Brown went 7-6 his first year.
Oh.
8 well, let's go through it. Mac Brown comes in, tell everybody he's going to save the world. We're kicking
like he did the first time.
We're kicking our National Parade All-American out at quarterback. We told him to leave the school. He decided he wanted to stay at the school and decided to play linebacker. And so I can bring in my guy and make it look good. And we're going to talk about how great he is, my recruiting class, and blow smoke up everybody's butt in North Carolina for 3 years. We're good. 7-6 Military Bowl champion. Good job, Mac. That's your first year. That's okay. You got you a bowl win. You used the old players. You got your bowl win. 8-4 the next year. Get trounced by A&M in the Orange Bowl. Yeah. Then this year, Terry, again, another top 10 preseason, and you're in the Duke. Like, if you'd have told Tar Heel fans this year, well, they have not got mad at you. Hey, you're going to be 6 and 7 after the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl against South Carolina, bub.
Yeah, you're going to end the season 6 and 6, and they would have said, "Well,
Tar Heel fans
want
to fight you in August." And you said that,
and we were top 10 like first of the year. What?
Yeah,
we
the past 2 years. Past 2 years.
Yes.
Mac Brown's name has got them ranked,
but
in their recruiting
what
class,
they're going to do?
But they don't do the coaching class, Tom.
Yeah. They're going to be in the top 10 next year.
They will probably. They will.
Yeah, because they got a top 10 recruiting class
again. Yeah. That's the thing.
But you have no quarterback now. Okay, now show me what
you got to go to Boone and with no quarterback.
I wonder how much a ticket to that game is
going to be. $250.
Kevin, that's you, buddy.
I just want to know
we got to beg the Tar Heel Network for something special on that one.
I just want to know if the running back in the state championship this year is going to be starting for App next year.
Do what?
I just wonder if the running back for the state champions 2A this year is going to be.
Probably will get
to the runner-up. Excuse me.
He's pretty good.
Think about that.
He's good.
He's going to be on television, maybe running circles around that Tar Heels defense, because whether or not they have a good offense or not, that defense is garbage.
Their Tar Heels defense has not been good for years.
Is he going to get $150 next year on him, Terry? He's starting?
If he's starting. And that's a freshman coming
in North Carolina.
He's got to be starting next year.
But so anyway, it just, again, Mac Brown, folks, again, you can have your recruiting classes all you want. You got to coach them. That's the one thing you can't say about Saban. At least he does coach them. Mac Brown, I don't think Mac's done it.
Who was the guy that was in there yesterday? And we talked about this last week. Would you not want to be back? That kid's already in the NFL. He's played one little game out of 46 that he's been there, Robinson. And the NFL knows who he is because who is he playing? Alabama.
Well, they see, and Terry, you know it is when you see the guys, and this is like, well, let's compare it to local high school. So we got, all these some really good teams around here, and then when they get to the Final Four, Shelby blows them out. Yeah. Shelby gets in the championship, blows them out, and they've got different size athletes. So Alabama's got the NFL size athletes. That's the recruiting thing. North Carolina can recruit all the 4 stars and 5 stars they want. They're the same 4 stars and 5 stars that say Vanderbilt or Wake Forest or whoever else in the local area is getting. Alabama's getting the 5 star.
Oh yeah,
and the Georgia.
Even the ones that are like on your second string, or some of them even maybe third string.
So Roseboro, you see him on the field, and you say that's a different size human being. Same thing with the Surratt. You see that you can just tell. I played with kids that were grown men in high school, and you see them. They were recruited to Clemson. I don't want to say that, and you see them and you know them, and then but so Carolina will have 5 of those. Well, Alabama might have 11 of them. That's the thing with Shelby. You got 5 big kids. They got 11 of them. Yeah. So that's where this national championship thing is. I don't care. Whatever system they use to tell me they're smarter than me. How many people that think they're smarter than me, know more than me about football, have 2 games yesterday blowouts? Like, this is our picks. These are our 4 best teams. How many people agreed on that? I'm a genius at college football. Lee Corso and all of them. Here's our 4 best teams. Go, and then it's 2 blowouts. And my system would have had 2 blowouts, whatever I did, probably 2.
But this is where we were.
Wouldn't have been any difference.
Yeah,
Except it would have been Georgia. It'd have
and,
been Oklahoma State or Utah. You losing.
But people ask me, we went over this. You go to Alabama and be a backup when you could have went somewhere else and been a starter. This Robinson kid in his 46th game finally gets his start, and who's at the top of him in all-purpose yards in a bowl game? It was Zeke, and then all of a sudden this kid with over 200 and some yards rushing for Alabama, playing in a huge game, national televised game. You know, NFL knows who he is. His first chance, and he proves himself.
I'm still going to where I could play. I don't care what you say. I'm not going to Alabama.
Well, that's a running back. Like, you just rotate them in. So
yeah, running back doesn't have the doesn't quite have the value.
But probably never had a pick until yesterday. Now that's how I look at things.
You gonna tell me he wouldn't have been drafted until yesterday?
Yes, because it's his first legitimate shot.
Okay. Anyway, the reason the transfer stuff's good or best for the quarterback situation is because they're the only player on the team that's not going to get to play if you're a backup, for the most part. The backup kicker, the backup punter. Some teams, I know one kid who went to Tennessee. He told me he was the 7th kicker. I'm like, oh, good. Why do y'all have 7 kickers? He was the 7th kicker, and there was like 9 or 11 of them on the original roster.
Because
it's like going to Shelby when you got 5 field goal kickers.
That's what you're right. So anyway, as the quarterbacks, they need to get on the field. The running backs, they'll get on the field. The wide receivers, if you can't get on the field as a wide receiver on your team when there's 5 spots basically to play,
NFL,
you're not going any further. You know what I mean?
See,
Randy Moss got on the field at Marshall.
Yeah.
Not that it's a good program by no means, but the Hawaii coaches was very upset. Did y'all see that?
He was so whiny.
Yeah, they lost their starting quarterback, starting running back, starting number 1 quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and offensive lineman.
But have you seen why? They're all it's in house. He's a big giant jerk. And he's a big giant jerk. Nobody likes him. And it was like that at his first job. He pretty much got run out at the one before it. And
they're all transferring out.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's the same number in his conference average. But he was complaining about it. But every other team in his conference it was like 12. But every other team in the conference had 12 transfer portals. So there was nothing unusual. He was just being the whiny jerk that he was.
And he lost. He lost his base, his whole offense.
They didn't play the bowl for that. All right, I'm gonna go see if I don't have to go anywhere. I can pull it up right here, see if my bad picks is up for college football for you guys. Terry, you got records? Anything?
Yeah,
updates?
Sure do. In college, Kevin come out on top.
Hey,
Kevin?
Terrible.
13-7. I was 12-8, and Tom and Zach were 11-9 on these picks. But then we had so many games. But here's my question before you do your bad picks. Memphis playing Hawaii. There we go about that game, remember? Game's canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But Memphis brings home the trophy. How do you get a trophy if you never played? Pull it up. The coach is holding the trophy.
Forfeit. I get my trophy.
Okay, then State should have a trophy coming back from the bowl game we were in.
You're right. And if you don't think Mac Brown would have took a picture holding that trophy after the other team quit,
I'm
he
telling
can show
you.
his recruits.
Tell
they
me
put that
how
on the wall, Terry.
Well, that coach, as soon as I pulled that up because I was hunting because I didn't see the score, and all of a sudden I see the coach holding the trophy and the game was canceled. How do you do that?
That's funny.
How do you become the champion? Didn't even play.
It's called the new millennium. That's how we do things. You're a champion too, son.
Yeah.
Everyone's a champion.
Whether you win or lose, I'm
Whether
going to give
lose
you a
or win,
ring.
You're a champion too.
So if did Carolina have to get Miracle Whip for losing the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl?
No, the winning coach got Miracle Whip.
He did. He had mayonnaise.
Yes,
poured all
the
over.
winning coach got Miracle Whipped in the Duke Mayonnaise Bowl.
He did.
I'm gonna tell you what, ain't nobody put no mayonnaise on me.
It was a whole thing of Duke's mayonnaise. Just
All right, so since
I think it's been so many things. It was the Tire Bowl. It was the Meineke Car Care Bowl. It was
That's the one I
Belk-
remember.
Yeah, the Belk Bowl.
all right, Zach, get ready to hit some buttons. Go ahead and hit that computer button. And we should be good to go. JP, you still hear me in there, right? Okay, here we go. We're gonna do college bad picks because, like I said, it's kind of long this week, so this is just the college part of the bad picks. This is the part JP makes the appearance on, though. So JP, you can see yourself make an appearance here. Here we go. That's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be loud.
yeah. This is hard for me to do. I'm going to go ahead and make my pick UCLA.
Terry.
Ooh. Man, we have to go all the way across the country.
Terry picked UCLA. Wow.
And we won.
I know
We
I'm
won.
picking a Wolfpack then. Go Wolfpack.
Terry
Picking a
picked
Wolf-
Watch this.
UCLA.
Watch this, JP. You'll like this.
UCLA wins this game.
West Virginia.
That's gross. North Texas.
Oh, Lordy.
Terry.
Miami of Ohio.
I'm going with North Texas because of the location of the
You
game.
do realize that Ben Roethlisberger's not playing.
Gabbert's playing. Is that B Gabbert? Is that Blaine's little brother?
I might be.
Kevin, you're not picking this college.
I will. Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go with. We'll go Texas and Texas. How about that?
Well, all y'all lost.
Well, thank you.
All right. We'll see.
My heart will break over this 6-6 matchup. You Central.
Miami of Ohio wins 27-14 over North Texas.
Bad picks.
Stadium at the Trans Perfect Music City. But I don't even know what to say about any of that. Zach, who you got?
Tennessee, fighting Peyton Manning's.
Auburn. Defense.
Yeah, Auburn.
I'm gonna go with Auburn too.
Their defense played good. You just got to
I
score.
hate y'all. This is one of the ones they blow. Let's go with the Houston Cougars.
Bad picks.
Used to be the Belk Bowl.
Not
There
only
we go.
Tom,
Bill Belk went
Mac
back.
Brown isn't getting his national championship game. He's got to play in the Duke Bowl.
Yeah.
He's got to play the bowl by his name by his rivals and the Mayonnaise Bowl, Terry. Is that not just funny? We tried to tell these people this, did we not?
I'm telling you.
We tried to tell them.
I still pick
But-
Carolina.
They're going to beat South Carolina.
Yeah.
They're gonna spank South
Carolina.
There you
Carolina.
go, Zach.
I remember a couple of years ago, South
Spank.
Carolina beat them.
It didn't
No.
happen, did it?
Bad picks.
No.
South Carolina's terrible.
Even worse, JP.
Holy cow.
Air Force never seen nobody like Cunningham. Look out. Louisville.
Yeah, I like Louisville in that game.
Wow. I'm gonna go with Louisville also.
Y'all keep doing that to me. I'm just going to keep picking the opposite. I'll go Air Force.
Player.
Holy cow. And Mississippi State.
Mississippi
Oh
State.
my goodness, Mississippi State.
Oh, Lord.
Texas Tech.
Player.
Holy cow.
I'll go Gators.
I'm also doing the same thing. Gators.
Zach.
Gators.
I'm going to go Central Florida. I think Florida gives up a ton of points. I have no
Give up
idea what a
52 to
Gasparilla
Sam.
is.
That's
Central Florida wins 29-17 over Florida.
Bad picks.
at Iowa State. Tommy, your boy Dabo gets the Cyclones.
I'm going Iowa State.
That's who they are.
Crabo's going to be
That's a loss.
Clemson wins 20-13 versus Iowa State.
Out.
Yeah. I'll go Ball State on this one.
I like that. Dispatching.
West.
Georgia State wins 51-20 versus Ball State.
Bad picks.
Virginia Tech
So ACC fans pick the other. Maryland Big
how
Ten
does
picks
that
the other. What am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Hall of Fields. They'll pull one out by the heart of Jack.
Every time
Maryland gives up a ton of points.
They're still ace.
Virginia Tech can't win, period.
Clemson at
Maryland wins 54-10
you idiots.
versus Virginia Tech.
I'm the opposite. Oregon.
Oh, yeah. What happened to them against Utah?
Oklahoma wins 47-32 versus Oregon.
Bad picks.
$5 for this bowl game. $5.
All right, for $5, you can spend Christmas in Michigan. I think Western Michigan holds serve at home.
No, Nevada.
No, Nevada. No, Nevada.
I'm going to do Western Michigan at home.
So childish. Tom, why did he pick Nevada?
Because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yes, he does. Why did he pick Nevada? They're the Wolfpack.
Oh,
Come on.
whatever.
Oh, well,
I'll go Western Michigan in Detroit.
There's another one y'all all
Okay.
lost.
Boston College and
Western Michigan wins 52-24 versus Nevada.
Those are some bad picks.
Yeah.
all right. So those are your bad picks from college. We'll do NFL here in just a few moments. Sorry for everyone who was listening. Just their ears just bled. Welcome back. Anyway, Alabama wins 27-6 over Cincinnati. Georgia 34-11 over Michigan. Wake Forest 38-10 over Rutgers. And Central Michigan 24-21 over Washington State yesterday. So
Rutgers thought their season was over. Hey guys, come on down here.
Come on down here and get a butt whooping.
So let's look forward, I guess, here.
You know, the ACC could have come out okay if Pickett would have played.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because they were.
That would have been a lot better game.
Yeah.
It's hard to judge when so many aren't playing.
I mean, when I sit back and look at them, Wake Forest won with ease, which is not who they're supposed to play. Clemson won. If Pickett would have been playing, I still think Pittsburgh would have won that. But without Pickett, I mean, they played the whole game and then blew it at the end. So,
well, let's pick some. Speaking of Pickett's, let's pick some games. Not JP's picking it, but there he is, and I got his camera up there. JP, stop that. All right, Penn State and Arkansas today at noon. Arkansas favored by 3. I'll get that up here in just a second on this screen. I don't know time you can see it over there on the big one. But there it is. Penn State and Arkansas today. Zachary, what you got?
I'm going to go with Arkansas.
Razorbacks for Zach. Terry?
yeah, I don't like Penn State anyway. I'm going Arkansas just on account I don't like the name Penn State.
That's a solid pick. I think Penn State's going to go in there and beat Arkansas. Every time somebody good plays Arkansas, they beat up on them.
Yeah, we'll go Razorbacks, Terry.
Okay, good pick.
Oklahoma State and Notre Dame. The Irish are favored by 1 over the Cowboys in Glendale, Arizona, $47. And I guess the temperature is pretty good, too, as well. Tommy, Cowboys or Irish in this one?
You really think I'm picking Notre Dame?
Yes, you are.
I am not.
Give
Give me Van Gundy. Give me Oklahoma State. Give me a team that plays in a conference.
All right, Terry, you want Cowboys?
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Fighting Irish.
That's simple.
That's simple. Zach?
I'm taking the Cowboys also.
All right, Big 12. So if they win, they get to complain about they should have been in the playoffs, right? Since they're Big 12 champions and beat Notre Dame.
Think about it.
I believe they should have been.
You taking?
Oh yeah,
Who you taking?
I'm taking the Cowboys. Yeah.
Okay.
I like their logo, little funny cowboy on their helmet. Or Iowa and Kentucky. Terry, you taking your kitty Wildcats? In this
I'm
one
taking the kitties in this
a
one.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, I'm going to take them kitties. I think them Kentucky Wildcats will win.
Iowa's hard to figure out.
And don't pick them.
No, I'm going to pick them. I'm not picking Kentucky. Every time I pick them, they lose. So I'm not picking them.
Zach?
Kentucky's been hard to figure out this year too. So
Yeah,
They have.
I'm gonna go with Iowa myself.
I was leaning towards Iowa the whole time. Y'all didn't say anything magical that's going to change my mind. Utah and Ohio State. Now,
on a rematch.
Tommy.
Was that the Utah, or was Utah the one that beat Oregon?
Oregon beat Ohio State.
Okay.
Utah smoked Oregon
That's
twice.
right. That's
that
right.
line has been dropping
there you go.
because Ohio State's players are opting out. Now
How is Ohio State favored in this game?
how are they favored?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Not really.
They got smoked by Oregon, and
Michigan
Utah
beat
smoked
them,
them
and
twice.
Michigan got
Yeah.
stomped.
Yeah. Well,
And
Ohio
Oregon, they played them, and they
Ohio
got
State's
stomped.
defense hasn't been very good.
Vegas
all year.
knows.
Well, I'm picking Ohio State. I think a lot of people are picking Utah in this game though because the opt outs for Ohio State.
Bad pick.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Terry. Go ahead, pick them like you're wrong. Nevada pick. Go ahead with that one.
pick.
I'm
Go
taking Utah.
I'm also taking Utah.
I mean, Tom, again, if I don't look at the names and I see this team beat this team by a lot, and
all
they got
matchup.
beat
Okay.
twice by another.
All right. To counter your point, Ohio State beat Michigan State 56-7, and Michigan State beat Michigan, and then Michigan beat Ohio State. So you can't use that logic because it's matchups.
But if I take my logic and then the logic you just said, that means you can't trust the Big Ten.
I'm
So
down.
go
Exactly.
Utah.
matchups.
There you
it's
go.
matchups.
Go Utah.
Well,
for
I look at it
matchups.
like this: Oregon beat Ohio State in Ohio State. Utah beat Oregon twice. Bad.
But you assume that a team just holds constant, like teams don't adjust, teams don't change, teams don't evolve during the year, which they do, which you're not smart enough to understand that.
That's how come you'll lose.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
Right.
Baylor will be against Ole Miss, number 7 versus number 8. Mississippi favored by 1.5 against the Baylor Bears. Zachary, in the Caesars Superdome, who do you got? This is the Sugar Bowl,
I
by
tend
the
to
way.
think Ole Miss will win, but I'm gonna pick Baylor. They played well in their last.
Coach is
Conference
pretty
championship
good
game.
there at Baylor, but Ole Miss will win. I mean, this is forget it. Ole Miss.
I like Baylor. I don't trust Lane Kiffin.
I feel the same way as Tom on this one. Over under at 58. That's got to be more, don't it?
I would think.
Big 12
Yeah.
team against Lane Kiffin team in a bowl game. He don't
Not
care
a whole
about
lot of
think it would
defense
be-
going to be playing.
Right.
Call my
Yeah.
bookie. Put
40s and
$1,000
30s.
on the over.
Jeez. Go ahead.
Final score 16-12.
Vegas. I'll go to the Baylor Bears as well. All right, is that it on those? When is the Georgia-Alabama game? Is
It's
that
like
the
week
next
from
Monday?
Monday.
So
Yeah.
we can do it next
In March.
Saturday? Is anybody going to pick Georgia in that? Are we going to have a week of break depending on the COVID situation?
Yeah, let's watch.
But
Nick
I'm
Saban
waiting.
might drop over dead and then pick Georgia.
All right, JP, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do the NFL and finish up with news and notes from other places here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Here's some good news. It's 2 for 1. Two good companies have now become one great company. Hopper Heating and Air in Shelby and Shelby Heating and Air have combined their businesses to become Shelby Heating and Air. David Hopper invites you to call on them for all of your heating and air conditioning needs with name brands like Carrier and Goodman, plus complete service and repair. Shelby Heating and Air and Hopper Heating and Air. Now one. Give them a call at 704-487-7877 today. Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia presents their Sign Then Drive sales event going on right now. Right now, pay no money down, make no security deposit. The first month's lease payment's $0 and pay no money down at signing. Come in for all the details. Don't miss it. The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia, 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at classicvwgastonia.com. Before you head over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house for the holidays, take your sleigh to Butler's Tire and Auto in Kings Mountain. Get your car ready for winter weather with a winter checkup. And right now, mention this radio ad and take $25 off select automotive services. Come on in for the details. From an oil change to transmission repair to a tune-up to a new set of tires. See Butler's Tire and Auto, 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain, right across from KFC. Again, mention this radio ad and take $25 off your next service.
It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
What are you looking forward to most in life? In the book of Acts, in the first chapter, verse 9 says these words, "After saying this, he was taken up into a cloud while they were watching, and they could no longer see him. 2 white-robed men suddenly stood among them. 'Men of Galilee,' they said, 'why are you standing here staring into heaven? Jesus has been taken from you into heaven, but someday he will return from heaven in the same way you saw him go.'" Something to look forward to is the return of Jesus. This is Vince Hefner, pastor of the First Baptist Church of Cherryville, saying, don't give in to sin. Think about it.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Playa.
Do what, JP?
I just had to. I was dying in here when that was
Okay,
coming
you
up.
didn't see him, did you?
No.
He just did it again.
Playa.
Even though the camera's going. Terry,
Yeah.
You're
You
so
have
smoking hot in there,
ruined him.
JP. Look at the camera. It is just going nuts in there.
What do you expect?
You're 100% you're right.
I think we need to make him dress up like Michael Knight and Knight Rider.
Who, JP?
Yeah.
He has, I don't even
I
know
actually
who he
have
is.
a leather jacket. Yeah.
I was like, do you know who he's talking about?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Hoff.
Are
Wow.
we still talking about this?
Wow.
I know who he's. I know who he is.
So you're a big Baywatch fan?
No.
Is this
I know who David Hasselhoff is. I know he was Knight Rider. That's all.
Tom,
I
did you
really
not see
know.
that Baywatch star on the plane this past week get kicked off? You don't pay attention, do you?
Well, I'm not into my celebrity gossip.
A
this week.
former Baywatch star told an old man on a plane to put his mask on while she wasn't wearing his and then spit in his face.
Sounds about right for celebrities. Well, even like old celebrities that aren't really celebrities anymore, like they used to be celebrities.
Right, like her.
They feel like this sense of entitlement that they can do whatever the hell they want to anybody, and I just don't. That's why I'm not into celebrity. I don't care who they're married to. I don't care who they're sleeping with. I don't care about their business deals. I don't care about them. Like other people want to just, look at all these pictures and who are they dating? Can you believe this happened?
It's so weird.
I could care less about any celebrity in
It's so
the United
weird.
States.
All right, these are. Well, I'm pulling up the playoff standings.
I do want to say this before we get started. Dan Reeves just came across.
did.
Dan Reeves passed away at the age of 77. Sad day for the NFL. Dan Reeves, even though he coached those Bronco teams that beat my Browns all the time, which I should hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
we lost John Madden this
John
past
Madden,
week.
too.
We
Yes.
lost what's
Betty
the
White.
guy?
Betty White died last night.
Yeah,
all
sure
our
did.
all our heroes from the 80s, man.
Yeah,
That's sad. But
She was a lot older, though. She was 99.
99.
yeah, Dan Reeves was a heck of a football.
He
So was
was.
John Madden. You know, John Madden never got to play because he got hurt.
I know.
He was the head coach when he was 32.
Betty White was served as a volunteer. I can't remember the exact word for it in World War II, and she started her TV career in 1947, 2 years before. That's how long she's been going. Lucille Ball started.
Wow.
Think of that.
And when's the last time you've heard or seen Lucille Ball or anything about her? I know she's dead.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
No, didn't they do a remake of I Love Lucy? Didn't they do a
Oh, they
remake?
did.
of
no,
Yeah.
there's a big controversy about that. We'll talk
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
later.
And then you think about that. I know people had already come out with Betty White turns 100.
They had. Well, she was supposed to do a special, TV
Sure
specials
was.
and all this stuff. All right, so NFL action in the American Football Conference. The only one team I'm gonna say that. So we've got we've got 10 teams over 500, and only one of them has clinched a playoff spot. In the NFC, 5 teams are above 500. No, 7, and 5 of them have clinched a playoff spot. So 2 completely opposite conferences, just like in the NBA right now. Tom, if the Browns at 7 and 8 are 1 game out of a playoff spot in both conferences, but in the AFC they're in the 12th spot. In the NFC they would be in the 8th spot.
Well, I'm not really going to defend the Browns because when they, I know they were COVID depleted, but they should have won the game with the Raiders. They should have won the game with the Packers. Both of those losses are on the coach, and it was poor play calling at the end of the Packers game. It was poor play calling. It was the backup coach. It was their their special teams coordinator that decided, well, the Raiders have shut down the run, so let's run the ball again and let them call a timeout, give them back the ball when all they need is a field goal. It's coaching. But yeah, when you look at a 7-8 record is a lot more competitive in the NFC than the AFC, but I'm a big believer in you can't worry about, well, if we were in the NFC, it doesn't matter. You play who's in front of you. And at this level, what I like about the NFL is every game is so evenly matched. It comes down to coaching. It's not like college. I mean, college, even Urban Meyer admitted that. It's like playing Alabama every week. What's that an admission? You have to coach every week now.
That's why college coaches
you do.
Can't do it.
And
maybe
I get so angry. I really get angry with Coach Stefanski and some of his stuff, but he's a new coach. He'll get it. He's young, but I'm just telling you, that play call against Green Bay when they were running. It's like we throw it when we're supposed to run, we run it when we're supposed to throw. I was like, you want to melt that clock down. You don't want to score too quick anyway, because you don't want to give Aaron Rodgers another chance. So if you're running a stretch play and you're getting 10, 15 yards, why are you throwing the ball with Baker Mayfield, who's out there with one shoulder, who's hurt? Okay, so Baker Mayfield, we're going to put the game on you at this position in a must-win game when you're hurt and you haven't practiced when we're running the ball. You
He's
explain.
your quarterback.
But
He's your quarterback.
You don't put the game on him when you don't have to. Terry, if you can run the ball and get 5 to 10 yards or throw it, what are you doing? Don't give me a stupid answer. You won't answer the question. You won't answer the question because you know what the answer to the question is.
I'm going to answer your question.
Terry.
You run
because
the ball.
The worst
That's
thing.
What you do.
All right, so Terry or Zach, go ahead, Terry. I'll let you say it.
The worst thing about it right now, Tom, is now you end up playing a team that's a nemesis to you. Big
That's
Ben
true.
has beat you every time in any place that he can.
No,
Except
they beat him in the playoffs
And
last year.
well, and here we go. Well, your whole season's on the
one
line.
time it ever mattered was in the playoffs, and they beat them.
But here you are, where your whole season's on the line, knowing if you get beat, Pittsburgh again has stuck another dagger in your back.
Wouldn't this be okay? All right, a couple of things. We'll talk about the Baker thing in a second. So as far as that game goes, Terry, the Browns had the ball, Zach, at the 50-yard line. They had already had over 200 yards rushing. They had 3 timeouts.
Why are you throwing the ball?
3 straight incomplete passes.
And then the 4th is an interception. On a play that, you know what? My
First and down at the 50, 200 yards rushing, Nick Chubb standing in your backfield, and you call pass play.
It's stupid. I mean,
I don't care. Again, I don't care if Aaron Rodgers is back here. I don't care if Dak or whoever you believe in is your quarterback. It is ignorant. It's 100% ignorant. Get the ball into field goal range. You got Nick Chubb. Pound. If he don't get it 2 of those 3 plays, you should be fired.
Correct.
The fact he got
only
0.
one he should have got it would have been first down.
No.
He should have got every ball.
He should have got
play.
it.
Terry, were you watching the game?
Well, listen to
Terry,
me, Tom.
answer the question. Were you watching the
I'm
game?
glad Terry's saying this. I'm glad Terry's saying this because Zach, how's the Cowboys going to get beat in the playoffs? Dak's going to go through 50 times one game. Zeke's going to have 8 carries, and they're going to do the same thing.
That's what we're
doing
all
Y'all going
year.
to get to the 50.
Yeah.
First down, Zeke's got 200 yards. You're going to go incomplete. It's going to happen to y'all same way.
No.
Because y'all do the exact same thing. Let's let the quarterback do it.
It's stupid.
Let's let Russell Wilson throw this 1 yard slant in the end zone
when you
instead of give it to beast mode.
You have to win that game.
They threw it three
You
times.
have to win
At the 50.
Like that's why, and all Terry's nonsense about Ben Roethlisberger and all that. Ben Roethlisberger should be in jail. Let's go ahead and get that out there.
He's
But
25.
since he's not in
25,
jail,
2 and
he's
1.
gonna play. He should have went to jail. But since he's gonna play, I know he's gonna talk about that. But Cleveland's season is not lost Monday night. Cleveland's season was lost in the last two games where
that's right.
their coaches took it away from their players.
And then
I
Big
hope
Ben's
who
gonna finish it.
cares about Big Ben?
He's gonna
I
finish
don't
it.
care about. He should be in jail.
What
I'm talking about is what matters now is your coaches lost 2 games for you. And that's something that you need to take into the offseason and think about. When these guys are playing their hearts out and the coaches lose the game, that's when you lose a team. That's what scares me the most.
If they could at least split those last 2 games, they'd be a lot better.
I know.
It's a lot better.
But
And they shouldn't have been in.
both on the coach.
And they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have been in either game. Based. We looked
Right.
at it before COVID. 2 weeks ago they were COVID depleted, and then they played Green Bay, which nobody thought.
Their players are playing their hearts out,
Yep.
and their coaches took it away from them twice.
So here's where I was earlier in the season, kind of where I'm still at with Baker, is that he, to me, is not top 5-10 material grade. He throws the ball. He's Cam Newton when he throws the ball off his back foot too much, and he's waiting for guys to get open instead of throwing them open. I've seen him his rookie year. I even made the comment one day that Baker's making great throws right now. He was throwing guys open. Now he's not. He's waiting and waiting off that back foot. He could be injured. What you're talking about?
He's hurt.
That could be 100% some of that. But again, his completion percentage is what he's doing is not. What he needs is it's almost like a Trent Dilfer situation, but he's better than him. That you need a great defense, a good running game, and rely on it. And you get to the 50-yard line, and you call would the Ravens have called 3 straight pass plays of Dilfer?
No.
Or would they give the ball to Jamal Lewis? Jamal Lewis would have got that ball.
You can't, especially when you're effective, when you're able to effectively run.
So
The coaches made one mistake.
well, that's what we're talking about.
No, they made
That's all
2.
they did. They made one mistake. They
But you can't make the
decided
mistake
to
there.
pass
You can't-
on first down
can't make
when
the
they
mistake
should have
there.
run, maybe. I'll agree with you there. But on second and third, they had no choice. Then all of a sudden, I got to pick up 10.
You know why?
Chubb's not going for 10.
You weren't watching the game.
Chubb's
You
not
weren't-
going for 10.
You weren't watching the game. Period. They were getting 5, 10, 15 yards. Chunk run plays, Terry. Chunk run plays.
So
You weren't watching the game. I was watching the game. The coaches, the reason why you got to throw on third down is because you didn't run it on first and second. I would have run it on first and second. Let that clock bleed down some more, and then I've got 2 more plays to pick it up.
Well,
if I
after the
have to throw.
incomplete, I mean, you can run it on second down and get second 6. That opens up the slant for Jarvis Landry to do his thing.
In that situation, you've got 4 plays.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
they threw it
4
twice,
plays
and you got
anyway,
throw.
and they didn't run it
I'm gonna
any.
throw on 3rd and 4th.
They
Now
didn't
I
run-
have to. Now you shut down my run. Okay, now I'll throw. But until you can shut down my run, look. And you talk about that. You want to talk about the Michigan Ohio State game? Did Michigan start throwing the ball when they were running it down Ohio State's throat? No. Even what did they do? Keep running the football. That's what you do.
Chubb had 17 carries at 126. That's averaging 7.5 yards a
And look
carry.
at that. Johnson
4 carries, 58
50.
yards.
He was getting chunk runs.
Schwartz 2 carries, 24 yards. All of them with those. But again,
Chunk
just
runs.
give it to him first or second down at least one.
It was
Whether it's
25
first or
carries for
second down, I don't
219
know.
yards. That's about
All
9
right.
yards a carry.
All right, so what I'm getting at on Baker real quick, Tom, and I don't know if you want me to
Here
say
we
this
go
or not.
again. You need another quarterback.
Career, maybe. No, I'm not. Again, Terry, you can win it with a guy like him. Trent Dilfer and them's proved it. Brad Johnson's proved it. He can't turn it over.
Is he going to play for $25 million?
But let me that's the issue is what you're gonna pay. But let me real quick go down Baker's. So I'm gonna look at some stats real quick. Overall in his career, 29 and 29. Okay, 7 yards attempt, 90 touchdowns, 54 interceptions, 62 completion percentage. Bernie Kosar. Go down to the Cleveland stats. 53 and 51. 2 games over 500. 59%. His touchdown was 3.7, interception 2.6. Baker's is 4.8 to 2.7.
Bernie didn't throw a lot of picks. He didn't throw a lot of picks.
So Baker's interceptions 14, 21, 8, and 11 so far. Bernie's interceptions, you're right, the worst ones were 14, 15, 10. So Bernie only had 1 winning season over 10 wins. He went 12 and 4. The rest of them 8 and 4, 9-6, whereas the other only 2 winning seeds 6-3. The rest of them were backup roles.
But
Looks like
the difference between Bernie and Baker is Bernie was an Ohio guy, so he would get the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. What I'm getting at is that you have the second coming of Bernie Kosar, which is good enough to win games to get to AFC Championship games like he did.
But his hair's
with
not
a
as
good running game and a good defense. Not as good as hair. I'm just saying you don't have Aaron Rodgers on your team, which is fine. But you've got he can't go out there and turn the ball over. And when then he is, Tom, your offensive coordinator can't call 4 straight pass play.
No, it's not. Kevin Stefanski is calling the plays.
Is he calling the plays? Well,
that's on Stefanski, man. I mean, I'm serious. I have never really almost kicked my television screen in as I did Sunday when they gave away that game. And the Raiders game, too, they gave away. I sat there and watched within 5 days coaches give away 2 games.
They did. You lost by 2 games.
In close games, it's your coach.
What are they, 6-9?
Yeah, you get
7-8.
You get blown out. It's probably because your players aren't any good.
All right,
you
Zach,
lose 2-point games at your coach.
Carolina Panthers eliminated this weekend. Depending on what kind of Panthers fan you are, you either want Matt Rule fired or you want him to stay. You want Cam. There are people, Zach, still in Cam Newton's camp on this. That now it's all Matt Rule because it's proven that he can't win with anybody, including Cam. Completely ignoring anything he did in New England and why is he not in New England, and completely ignoring that Ron Rivera didn't pick him up. Instead, signed his backup, Kyle Allen.
He's 0-13 his last 13 starts. I don't care who's coach. He's horrible.
I saw somebody tweet that out about that they were like, he's lost 13 straight starts, and their response was, "You, Terry, is something like that's a nitpicky stat to where Cam again. Every time you tell a Cam fan that, again, Zach knows this, that he's not playing well or doing good or not any good, they say he has no help. He's in a bad situation.
He's got the second or third best defense in the league. Look it up.
One of the top ones, yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious, they're in the top on all the statistics, and they lose. They would start out 3-0, and we went 2-10.
In the last 2 years, he's been paid $16 million, and he's been benched for Brian Hoyer, Jared Stidham, Mac Jones, P.J. Walker, and Sam Darnold.
And Sam Darnold's horrible.
And we're talking again. You're talking about it's not Cam's fault, but I just read the guys he's been benched for. Like, if it's not his fault, who's his thing? At some point, people got to realize he's done. Isn't he? Who's signing him next year?
Nobody.
When I'm saying, I keep sitting here like I'm listening to 2 total different stories. Like one of them, Baker Mayfield, it's not his fault. It's the coaches. But on the other end, it's not Cam's fault.
Baker's not 0-13 in the last 13 starts, Terry.
Terry, we were talking about one drive. That's all we were talking about. I didn't say it's not anything. I said they lost that one game because at the 50-yard line, with over 200 yards rushing, they didn't run the ball one time.
Well, maybe Cleveland in the offseason this past year should have went and got Dak instead of having Baker Mayfield.
He's really...
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
How did we get to that?
Are you still drunk from New Year's Eve?
No,
he had a good night.
I'm just asking because y'all was talking about you needed a quarterback. So now that you need a quarterback,
who said we needed? That wasn't the point of the discussion. My point is he going to?
I don't know what.
Is he going to play for 20 or 25 million?
Well, I'm just saying.
If he plays for 20 or 25 million, he's.
We talk about him being 29 and 29.
We're not. And then you compared him to a guy who's lost 13 straight starts. He's out there with a broke shoulder, still winning half his games. You're talking about a guy who lost 13 games in a row.
I'm talking about him revitalizing the franchise to Bernie Kosar levels to where they can make AFC Championship games.
He's basically, Kevin's argument is he's good enough if he's got the pieces around him.
And don't turn it over.
And they don't have, everybody don't have COVID.
Well,
yeah. I mean, and I think everybody. He is, but what worries me about a Baker Mayfield is, he might say, "Well, I want $40 million."
Well, then you get rid of him.
If he says that,
then you get rid of him.
He's out.
He's done.
He's going.
And nobody's going to get $40 million. Not right now.
35.
Now they might. Now, if he gets healthy and burns it up for a year or two, then he's going to get paid. But see, like, you can't pay him right now. You can't do it. You can't pay him right now because with the fan base and everything else, that's not going to go over well. Because, all right, so you pay him and you get rid of one of your stud offensive linemen.
Is he worth $25 million?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's on the lower end of the
today. What are you paying?
I know that's what I'm talking about because he's going to want 35.
Yeah.
He's going to at least want 35.
I couldn't give that either.
He's not going to get that. So because with that extra money, Terry, you can get 2 more pieces. You can get you a stud offensive lineman, you get you a stud tight end, you get you a stud wide receiver. There's another
and
piece.
you can also draft a quarterback. Like again, Belichick's winning right now because he's using the formula of the NFL. If I pay my quarterback rookie money,
scale.
I can get all these defensive players
pieces,
at this point.
What's
and then
the
when
difference?
He moves up into it, I've already got him here.
So what's the difference in Cam being at Carolina, that he's got a stud defense, which he had when he won MVP, and that's what should have got MVP that year, not Cam. But what's the difference now?
I think Josh Norman could have been MVP.
Our argument is Cam is trash.
Well, he's over. I think it's over.
Well, I think he's no good anyway. Yeah. I'm with you 100%. Yeah.
And my question for Zach, 2 questions in one. As a Panthers fan, what do you think they will do? And if you was in charge, what would you actually do?
First thing I would have done was not got rid of our offensive coordinator, Brady. I think that was a huge mistake. And then I would draft a quarterback in next year's draft. We're going to be probably picking 6th or 7th.
It might get Pickett.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
Why
but would they screw that
Why
up?
did you get rid of Brady? Tell me a reason.
He wanted
why.
to go back to college.
So
didn't he go back to college?
He didn't actually.
They saying he had some
that was the thing. But
the
here's
jobs,
what I think.
one of the NFL jobs, possibly, potentially.
Terry, he just took the
just to bail out.
What's it called where you fire somebody to take the blame? He took the
he was the scapegoat.
The fall guy.
You're Matt Rule.
Yeah.
And you're the owner. The owner has given the coach a 7-year deal,
which I thought was bad out of the gate.
Right. You can't give more than 5. You can't to anybody that's
well,
never done
I've
anything.
always said a new coach has got to have 3 to 5.
Right. I agree with that.
And he's only been in our 2.
But 7
a 7-year
I thought
deal
it was
somebody
too much
proved
for
something, right?
That's my
7-year deal. Somebody's proved something. That's okay. So anyway, you got your owner on him on a 7-year deal. They just signed Sam Darnold. What, a 4-year deal is what it was?
I think that's what we looked up.
So they're committed to coach, quarterback. Well, we got a quarterback got hurt. We bring Cam in. He don't succeed. Well, who we blame? We can't blame the coach right now. Can't blame the quarterback. He's not here. It's got to be the offensive coordinator. There's rumors of him wanting to go to college. He gets the hatchet. He gets fired. I think that's 100% what that is, Zach. Is that they can't blame the defensive coordinator. You're playing good on defense. So offensive coordinator gets the first blame. That's Tepper's warning to rule. Get someone else, do something on that. That's your warning. You got 1 more year after this. Next year's your year. Then it's over. You can't have another bad year. But again, we talked about this before the year, did we not? How many of us sit here and said, what, 5 to 7, 8 wins? Mm-hmm. They're sitting at 5. Like, what do you?
How many did they have last year?
I think it was 5.
I think it was 2
or 6. You can't have expectations to just jump up into 12.
The expectation that bothers me is with a defense that's ranked that high. They should have a couple more wins on that,
And don't you think that Bridgewater, if he was still there, you would have?
I do. I was thinking of that a minute ago.
What would your record be?
But you did
Teddy
not
Bridgewater
want it.
Was your quarterback?
I thought we'd at least get 2 more wins. I was thinking about that a minute ago. We'd
started
have 2
out
more.
Promising.
That puts you at 7 and 8.
The only thing about Bridgewater, he is just a little small.
So here's real quick on the defensive thing and how everybody quotes this stuff and how I quote it. And I'm going to pull it up online for the folks too. So when you hear that I'm on TV, and I don't know why they do this, it drives me crazy. When they talk about the number 2 defense, Zach, it means they're meaning yards. So when they say the Panthers have the number 2 defense, that means yards. That's what they mean on TV. I don't know why when they call it on that. They've always done that. We're the number 1 defense in yards. Well, at the end of the night, what are we counting? Points. So the Panthers are second in yards. They're giving up 23 a game, which puts them.
That can be phony, though.
In the 20s.
You talking about the score?
Yards is more phony than points.
Well, I'm just saying, though.
Because yards, if you're talking about coming back at the end of the games, how many times does the quarterback get 200 extra yards just passing the ball? Down 20. That's way more than points is.
Yeah, but I'm when they go yards, man, how many did you give up when you was up by 25? Oh,
God.
I mean, it does make a difference.
That's cute. The Panthers are either the second best defense in the NFL or the 20th. And at 5 and 10, I would vote on the 20th. They're giving up 23 a game. That's what matters, is it not?
But we average, 24 is what we always average?
The NFL, through NFL history, has been between 22 to 24 a game. This year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Cleveland Browns and the Rams are sitting right in the middle at 21.8 is your, was that median right in the middle? Is that the word? Median number. So 21.8 is your NFL average, right, or right in the middle, Terry. So anything over that. Browns and Rams are right in the middle. 49ers slightly worse. Panthers are on the top end of that at 16, 17,
The Jets
18.
giving up almost 30 a game.
Right.
Wow, that's scary.
And if we turn the ball over in bad situations, you can get some extra points if you
Now,
give them
my
a
stat,
short
Terry,
field and stuff
Terry,
like
the
that.
stat, and the stat I've been using this whole time when I say 50, 55 Super Bowls, it's the points. I ain't never looked up the yardage because, like I said, 50 of 55 Super Bowl winners have been in the top 12.
How about the
points.
Broncos sitting there at number 1 after they got rid of Von Miller?
Best defense in the NFL right now. Let's go over those real quick.
Oh,
Playoff
well,
teams.
no. Let's go one more thing too while we sitting there because we talk about this every year. Where Dallas at? That's all I have to say.
Terry, we'll get. Is that all you have to say?
That's all I got to say.
Hit
I
that
told
button. Hit
everybody
mic
how
3.
fast that would change.
I did.
No, you hit mic 1.
Oh. I was looking.
Yeah, Terry
Sorry.
said that's all he had to say, so we'll just cut his mic off.
One of the worst defenses, and y'all said, well, there's no way. Well, look where we're at. That's all I got to say.
Where you at?
One of the top defenses.
Give
in
him
the
credit
NFL.
for making a point, Kevin. You much
Oh,
stupid
I heard
stuff
about this all
as,
year.
as much
Wait a minute. That's what I did.
stupidity
Wait a
as we
minute.
have to listen to. This is his valid point.
Well, it
that
is.
Dallas's defense
It's
has vastly
way
improved.
better.
Let's see, 29,
I
28,
will
27,
give him
26,
credit for
25,
that.
24, 23, 22,
Look at the
21,
Jaguars up
20.
there.
19th, Terry, you're 19th.
Way
That's
better.
down at the bottom.
Terry, you're 19th.
In yards.
Wait,
Points are what
he
matters.
just spent 10 minutes arguing that yards is more important. So I switched to yards, and he's 19th. Which
Points
one
are
is
more
it?
important to me.
Which one is it?
I don't want to hear the yards because no, I don't want to hear the yards because I just got through saying something about that.
I know, Terry, and you told us that
Because
yards
most
are
of the
more
yards
important.
Dallas has gave up is when they blown somebody out.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that yards are meaningless.
It's just like garbage points in basketball.
Yes.
But you get garbage points in football too.
You get garbage points by getting garbage yards, though.
I mean, they had blown
can't
Carolina
get the
out.
points if that's
Carolina
yards.
scored a few touchdowns at the very end of the game to make the game closer, but that was not how close the game was. So, I mean, you do give up yards at end of ball games when you've got half of your starters sitting over on your bench.
And you can get 70 yards and not score. You give up yards, not points. So I don't know what we're talking about. Other than, anyway, Denver and New England. Here's the playoff teams in the top 12. Patriots, Bills, Chiefs, Cardinals, Cowboys, Buccaneers, Dolphins.
Yeah, but don't take a rocket science to figure that out. If you don't give
12.
up a lot of points, you have a better chance
Colts
to win.
and Eagles. Those are your teams with a
Packers might be a little bit
just by that,
iffy
Tom.
down there, giving
Yeah,
up
but
a
you know
22
what? You know
a
what
game.
else it is? It's red zone defense.
Yep.
It's red
So
zone
50
defense.
divided by
You give up
55.
field goal or
Probably
do you
don't
give up
have
a
that.
touchdown.
So we're going to narrow this down a little bit more. So 91% chance those teams, if you're in the top 12, you got a 91% chance of winning the Super there's a 91% chance of a top 12 defense winning the Super Bowl is what I'm trying to say. Then of the teams not in the playoffs, Denver's not in, right? The Saints aren't in right now. I think everybody else in. So that means out of 10. So now you got a 1 in 10 chance out of that. So you take that 91 and go into that, and it's even further. So those 10 teams right there, right now, if you're betting on them, would do those. I would go with Tampa.
And
they're sitting
right
right in the middle of it.
Right there would
And
be
Kansas
where
City
it
is
comes
too.
back what I was talking about a minute ago. We was talking about Bridgewater, and Zach said Bridgewater, well, they can't score points. Well, your defense is one of the top,
Yep.
but you can't score points, so that might be the offset.
It might be.
You know what I'm saying? Because your defense is number one.
Kansas City's defense improving has really impressed me, though. As the years gone on, they've gotten a lot better because at the beginning of the year, they were garbage.
But they got a guy from Pittsburgh. Do y'all remember the linebacker that come over?
Yeah.
And from what has been said, and even Tomlin said this about those guys, he said he has stabilized their defense. That's when he got there.
Kansas City's sitting in 5th in points, and Tampa is 9th. We talked football all year, and we're back to those two. And I don't see any reason why you wouldn't have those two as your top two teams. Favorites to win Super Bowl. In fact, I don't have the artwork that they are in my new my thing. I've got them 1, 2, Packers 3.
I tell you, the one
Bills
that's really
4.
come up the line is the Dolphins.
From how they
Miami.
started.
Yeah,
Yep.
they have played very well.
So are they going to make it? I don't.
They
think.
are what, second? But they're third in
They're seventh.
in their
they're seventh
conference.
right now in the conference.
I was talking about in their division. Excuse me.
They got the 7th seed right now. New
Yeah.
England has got the 6. Colts with the 5 is where they're at.
But they're only one game out of. I'd have to see.
They're one game out of the division,
right? But you'd have to see the head-to-head
The
matchups.
Miami Dolphins.
The head-to-head matchups.
But
that
right
they have
now
this
they'd be in.
They're in the playoffs right now. Yeah,
That's what
and,
I'm saying.
and dangerous
They're in.
because they're one of those teams that's playing good at the end of the
Baltimore's
year.
and the Chargers went and went stupid.
Baltimore's not been a good team this year.
Baltimore's not.
Baltimore's not out yet. Now they lose the tiebreaker to the Dolphins because the Dolphins beat them, but Baltimore's not out of the division.
It started
race
today.
yet.
They're out.
You know, I would say the top 6 I think are in,
But it doesn't start today.
but after the top 6, I don't trust any of them. I think that Miami, Baltimore, Chargers, Raiders, Steelers, and Browns still alive. I don't trust any of those teams, and I think the Chargers got the best quarterback of all of them right now. But
And
what do you do?
they got
They'll be
whipped
by the
last
Lions,
week. By,
didn't
yeah,
they,
they
or
got
something?
whipped last week by them, and the Colts are very dangerous, sitting there at 5.
They called Phillip Rivers, Terry, but I don't think he's ready.
Yeah, I know they did. Sure did.
Who called him?
The Colts.
Did they really?
Yeah.
They called Andrew Luck too.
Yeah.
The
Because
Saints have called
of,
Drew Brees. He sent him back a picture of him playing golf.
That's awesome.
So, you know, if I was him, I'd be a little salty about it too. Y'all, they kind of forced him out, and I think as opposed to he was ready to be out.
Who, Breeze?
I think they were.
And they were in the top on the defense scoring points. What would their record be if they had Breeze this year?
Yes.
I mean,
all right. Let's do some bad picks and we'll talk about these games. How about that? Any other news and notes? I think oh yes. Let's not do bad picks real quick. We'll spend a few minutes on this, then we'll do bad picks in a minute. Hall of Fame finalists have come across the board. You guys see this? Yeah. Here are the finalists, and we will pick. Y'all want to do 4 apiece or just? And we'll pick our Hall of Fame finalists. How about let's do that? All right, here they are. I'm gonna try to find them on the screen if I can in a moment. But right now it's Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Flipper for some of you younger folks that might not know that. Zach, you remember him as Flipper, don't you?
do.
Tom, you remember Flipper Anderson?
I do.
All right, Rondé Barber, not Tiki. Tony Baselli,
The tackle.
Leroy Butler. Devin Hester.
Yeah, he was a punt returner. University of Miami. I remember when he ran all over state.
Chicago Bears.
Torrey Holt.
Wide receiver for the Rams. Yeah.
Andre Johnson.
He's a wide receiver too.
Sam Mills.
Linebacker for the Penn.
Richard Seymour.
He played with the Patriots, didn't he?
Yep. Zach Thomas.
Zach Thomas for the Dolphins, linebacker?
Yes.
Hall of Famer?
Wow.
Tom, he's like top 5 in all-time tackles or something.
Oh,
like that,
okay.
top 10. He's really
And
up there.
un-
in some-
and
He played on some
undersized.
bad. He played on some bad.
And on some of the stats, he's really
good
really
name.
up there. I was trying to find an image of that. Let's see. DeMarcus Ware from the Cowboys and Broncos, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, and Bryant Young are the Hall of Fame finalists right now. So, any of those stand out that you say, yeah, that guy's definitely a Hall of Famer? While I try to bring up
There's
pick
three
for it.
wide receivers that were outstanding on this list.
Now, with that said,
You're only going to get one probably. What'd
Tom, do you
think?
got anybody that you say real quick? One guy that you would say he's in the Hall of Fame.
You got the list up there.
I'm looking for it, but I've got it on my.
There's a good
phone.
one on sportingnews.com, Kevin.
Well, there's one on this Twitter feed I know, and I'm
But you
trying to
can
get.
get
There's
whole-
not one that really like jumped out that's like a slam dunk. Is
All right,
there?
Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Rondé. Zach, here you read these while I look.
Like those are all good.
Y'all talk about
Those
that.
are all really good players.
I've got them.
Oh, you got them?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You
But
got
they don't really jump out.
You got
at
Andre Johnson, DeMarcus Ware, Devin Hester. If you're talking about situational, if you're talking about just kick return, Devin Hester's a
He was
no-brainer.
really good
If you're
player.
just
Yeah.
going kick returner, Patrick Willis, Willie Anderson,
Baselli was good for a while.
Jared Allen, Bryant Young,
Jared Allen was a good defensive line.
Rondé Barber, Sam Mills, Leroy Butler, Zach Thomas, Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt, Richard Seymour, and Tony Baselli.
A lot of those are just a lot of really good players.
I mean, I think Reggie Wayne was way up there on the total yards for forever, or still is.
Yeah, there
Excuse
it
me.
is.
And Tory Holt was.
And how many we got to
awesome.
pick? 4.
4.
Yeah, just give me if you can.
Okay,
Just-
I'm gonna give you 4.
all right. Well, let me get my piece. Of
Let's
paper.
see if let's write them all down before you go with those, Terry.
Okay.
Let's see how many we got that match. Let's do that. That'd be fun. Because I'm gonna be honest. If we're picking wide receivers, you got all these other people, and you're gonna get 4. You can only for me, I can only put 1 wide receiver on this list
4
if
of
I've
those
done it.
people.
Does that make sense?
You can put whatever you want.
I know. I'm just saying.
You get 4 guys.
That's tough because all of them are really, really good players.
I agree. I mean,
but not like this guy's talking like an Emmitt Smith or a Tom Brady or something.
Right. There's nobody
Yeah.
on there that you say first ballot Hall of Famer, no matter what. Is that what you're saying?
and that's going to come down. I got this where it says times as finalist on the list on my list.
Okay.
And that always plays. The times as finalist on this was Andre Johnson. This is his first time. DeMarcus Ware's first time. Devin Hester's first time. Patrick Willis's first time. And Willie Anderson's first time. That plays in a big factor sometimes, too, on who gets picked.
So they cut 9 players from the list. Here's who they cut after voting. And one of them I really wanted to talk about is Steve Smith. So that was the big argument, Zach. You're ever looking at Torrey Holt and Andre Johnson, Devin Hester,
Steve Smith,
and Willie Anderson.
He's a jerk. That's why he's not there. They hold that prejudice against jerks sometimes.
Okay. I didn't
He's a
know
jerk.
we were going there with that, Tommy.
He's a jerk. I mean, he is. Steve Smith was a jerk, and I think that hurts him because
think that's what they
I'm
did?
sure Steve Smith
Terrell Owens, same way.
exactly. I'm sure Steve Smith
Same thing.
has, for lack of better words, pissed off the wrong guy somewhere,
Yep.
and that's what happens.
Now,
Steve Smith's a great player. Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
definitely. Yeah, I mean,
here's the thing about there's the list before the cut. Okay.
is that Steve Tasker?
Yes. So here's the players.
Steve Tasker was a special teams guy.
Right. Here's the players that got cut: Eric Allen, Anquan Bolden, Eddie George, Robert Mathis, Vincent Wolford, Ricky Waters, Hines Ward, Fred Taylor, Steve Tasker, and Steve Smith. If I was given the task of putting this together, honest to goodness, and from what Tom said, he's not going to agree with me just now, I would have Steve Smith number 1 on my list of all those people.
I'm not saying talent-wise. I'm saying talent-wise, Steve
Oh,
Smith.
out of all those.
I'm just saying out of everyone
The
I've
ones
named
you
today.
the ones you just named, he would have been my top. The ones
the
that-
cut?
yeah, the cut.
I'm talking if he would have made the finalists, he'd still be my number 1.
He would have been.
I would take DeMarcus Ware as an argument as the other number 1. But honestly, Zach, as much as I didn't like the Panthers and Tom, like you say, a lot of people don't like Steve Smith. The dude was unguardable.
He was.
He was.
Was.
He was.
He
And
was
he had Jake
unguardable.
DeLone throwing it to him.
And
he broke a teammate's nose in the locker room.
They had so did Michael Jordan. So Dale Holm would close his eyes,
throw it up in the air
and throw it
to a guy
50 yards
5'8".
to a 5'9" guy
Yeah.
who would karate kick the defender. I swear he got
come
away
down
with
with the
more
ball.
Ric Flair offensive pass interferences than Michael Irvin did.
They don't let him get.
But
by
they
with
let
that.
him do that. And Steve and he was unguardable at that point. And then once he caught the ball, he was a mini Terrell Owens where he was untackleable because he was so small. And so honestly, I think Steve Smith got robbed of even being on the finalists, much less being on the thing. So my final 4, Terry, do you have your final 4?
Yes.
All right, you go ahead and give yours. Like I said, DeMarcus Ware is the only one that I have a definite
You got
that I
yours,
really
Zach?
feel about.
Yeah.
Tom, you got yours.
I do.
All right, Terry, you go.
Here's
yours
mine.
first then.
My first one would be DeMarcus Ware.
All right.
Devin Hester would be second. And here I might throw it off on a lot of people. Sam Mills would come in number 3 for me. And
He's a good player, yeah.
Tony Baselli would be number 4.
Well, Terry, we've got 2 of the same. I've got Baselli, and I had Hester. Wasn't Torrey Holt on that championship team, that Rams championship
was.
He
team?
was.
That's,
Him
and I thought
And he's a
like
state
championship should matter. So Holt and Seymour were my other choices.
I had Devin Hester, and I took him off for one reason, because it's his first time. That's the only reason I took Devin Hester off. I think he's a Hall of Famer. So I put Tony Baselli in because he's been on there 6 times. I think he deserves to be in.
Yep.
That's the only reason I made that choice change. Reggie Wayne, I think he proved himself with his stats. Torrey Holt, again with the Rams, his stats, and DeMarcus Ware, I'm with Kevin. I think he was the hands down no-brainer on that
Does
whole.
DeMarcus Ware how many championships?
Not sure, but I think he's is he on the sacks.
Ain't that what Denver
Kevin.
won?
Denver.
Peyton won.
He came with.
He went in Dallas.
He was there when they beat the Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his first year
Yeah.
with them, and they had Don Miller on the other side. It was nasty.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say
Yeah.
I thought it was one.
But he's he's very good.
And Baselli has how many championships?
He was wasn't he
None.
Huh?
Raven, right?
Tommy
Was
Baselli. He was a Jaguar.
The Jaguar. Okay, I was thinking he
Did
was
he ever play
the
anywhere
Ravens.
else?
No, I was thinking he was the Ravens
You're
left
thinking
tackle.
Jonathan Ogden.
I was
Okay.
thinking
You're
that
thinking
he
Jonathan Ogden.
it runs together. I don't mind.
Who do you think about, Tom?
But
I
you
must
got to
admit,
get you got to start letting offensive linemen in. You know,
I see your. I would,
that's the argument.
I would
that I
almost take Baselli as a lineman in that spot just because of that. I don't think Samuel should be anywhere near the Hall of Fame.
I think
Zach Thomas has a really good argument. Reggie Wayne has a good argument, but are you a product of Peyton Manning, or is that? I never thought Reggie Wayne was like, hey, he's about to kill us. Y'all all got Devin Hester. I wouldn't have him anywhere near the
I
Hall
put
of
him
Fame.
in based on his kick. If he was just a kick returner,
Right.
Does that make
There
sense?
you go.
Like,
Again,
There you
he's-
go.
that's
You've
the-
got to have somebody in them
Right,
spots.
I
and
agree.
He is the elite out of what
Again,
you got.
probably
You know
Again.
what? You know what's kept Baselli out though?
What's that?
He only played 95 to his last year was 2002.
7,
a
8
shorter
years.
career.
I think. Let me
Yeah, you
see.
got to play 10 years. Get out of there. You're off the
Let me,
list.
let
then.
me let me see how many years.
My
he
thing of
played.
Hester's the same thing I have with David Ortiz. He's not a football player.
Got to at least play 10 years. How long did Barry Sanders play?
I don't know.
7 or 8.
Okay,
yeah,
then we
maybe.
ought to kick him off. Then.
Yes, him and Jim Brown.
There it is.
Oh my goodness!
I don't think that's going to
Oh,
work.
my
gotta-
goodness.
maybe we
What
gotta
about OJ?
revise
How
that.
long did OJ
We
play?
got to revise that one.
Yeah. He went to San Francisco and played a couple years
Did he?
after he's done with
OJ
Buffalo.
did, yes.
Yeah.
Dorsett played a long time.
In the late 70s when he was kind of semi-washed up, he went and played a little bit.
Terry, you might have a good point.
Okay.
Maybe. But anyway, yeah. Well, I don't know. He, as far as lineman goes, he's the only one on there, isn't he?
Yes.
What do you do? I mean, you
And he's
get
been
5
on
off
there,
him.
and he keeps getting.
The Hester thing just bothers me as far as like a DH thing. I don't know.
Rondé
I don't know how to
Barber,
value
though,
that at all.
I don't see how he made that list.
I don't
Who's
either.
that?
I mean,
Rondé,
Steve Smith should have knocked him out.
Rondé Barber with being
Because
Defensive
he couldn't guard
back
Steve
for the-
Smith.
I mean, really.
I think
oh.
he was on that Super
He was on
Bowl
the
team in
Champions,
02
yeah.
Tampa Bay.
when,
He
when
was on the
Gruden
Super Bowl
coached him.
team.
Yeah.
He was good. I just didn't ever see him as shut down anything.
I don't know why I was thinking Baselli played for the Patriots. I don't know why I was
So,
thinking that.
nobody's really excited about this list, is what we're saying.
I mean, they're
Right.
all solid, really good players.
Right.
Shouldn't this list? Now
They're
see,
A
here's the
minuses.
problem. Here's
Yeah.
your problem. How many are they going to pick?
5.
That's my. Do you think so? Should they? Should
it's a
they?
in a percentage?
I don't know.
I think so. I think it's a percentage you got to have.
And then
Here, I can click on it. This thing right here says more on the selection process. I wonder if that will explain it to me when I hit this magic button. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's why I look at it. I mean, because this is should not be an elite where we have 7 or 8 that make it. This should be an elite where there's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And that's
because
it.
all these were
it doesn't matter. They have to
players.
get 80% of the votes.
Okay, there
may
you go.
elect
That's gonna be
up
tough.
to 5
that
modern.
that
That's gonna
might
be
be
tough.
tough for any of them.
I agree.
For any of them.
I
to
think I
have
still think
80%.
Ware's going to get it.
Well, see, I honestly,
Yeah, well, that's another way to look at it. Think
Yeah.
about who might get 80%.
but I think from what you guys are sitting there saying, you got 3 people on Devin Hester.
But we took him for special teams.
Yeah.
And
but
we
all the
know-
We
voters are
took
going
Tony
to.
And
You got if 3 out of, but again,
for linemen.
it's
I mean,
80%.
Yeah.
If
And we
3 out
know-
of 4 voters,
Don't give
that's
him
75%.
if they don't
all you
di-
need is one guy like
if,
me
if
to
they
push
don't
him-
differentiate
to put him over the thing.
between
And
what we're
we-
putting him in for.
We know Hester because he's an ACC guy. That's why we know him better too, because we watched him play.
I
in the
just remember
ACC.
him. I just remember nobody wanted to kick to him.
All time-
I'll never forget that.
All-time tackles. Y'all ready for this? Zach Thomas is number 5. All-time tackles. Now, you really want me to blow your mind? Let's see if I'm gonna pull it up on the screen to the internet.
How many championships does Zach Thomas have?
Look who number
0.
look who number 10 is on all-time tackles.
Rondé Barber. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Think of that.
They should have been. They
We're
should have
talking about his cover
Warren Sapp
skills.
should have been doing his job then.
We're talking about his cover skills, and Rondé Barber is number 10th all-time in tackles. I would have never guessed that
I
in
would
a
have
million
never
years.
guessed that.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that either. Charles Woodson on that list. Yep.
Ray Lewis won. London Fletcher, Derek
Lawyer,
Brooks,
Malloy.
Donnie
Yeah.
Edwards,
A lot
Zach
of good
Thomas,
players.
Keith Brooking, Carlos
And that's
Dansby.
Is the star the Hall of Famers? Is that what that is?
I'm not sure.
Or whatever that might be.
I got to go all the way down
Oh,
to the
my
bottom of
goodness.
the list to
Sorry.
find the key for
Got
Zach.
to be what that has to be. And it ain't there.
There's no key.
That's awesome.
Let's go with it. Yeah, sure. But yeah, those are your top 10. So yeah, Zach Thomas sitting there at 5th all time. Does that change your mind on voting, knowing that then?
Not really.
How many championships does he have?
Tom.
I'm serious. That's
He
kind
does
of
many as Dan Marino.
How many
There you
Yeah,
go.
think of that.
Good answer. And Barry Sanders
Yeah,
combined.
that's what I'm saying.
And Derek Thomas.
What does that matter, Tom?
It does matter.
For a linebacker.
For a linebacker. How many
My
championship teams
God,
have you
I'm
been
sorry he didn't have 10 other guys around
many-
him doing their job.
on? How many?
I'm sorry.
How many's Ray Lewis got? How many Ray Lewis got? Ray Lewis got what, 2 or 3?
I mean, my God.
He's got 2. Ray Lewis has 2. All right, JP, let's go to break. When we come back, we're going to do our bad picks, and we'll make some more bad picks here on Shelby Heating and Air Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by KTCBroadcasting.com.
Here's some good news. It's 2 for 1. 2 good companies have now become one great company. Hopper Heating and Air in Shelby and Shelby Heating and Air have combined their businesses to become Shelby Heating and Air. David Hopper invites you to call on them for all of your heating and air conditioning needs with name brands like Carrier and Goodman, plus complete service and repair. Shelby Heating and Air and Hopper Heating and Air. Now one. Give them a call at 704-487-7877 today.
Trusted, tried, and true. Those 3 words represent the highest standards for Kawasaki Mule Side X sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. True means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried, and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
The Foston Pharmacy in Foston now has a new stock of Simply Southern clothing. Come in and check out their selection. Come on and shop inside. Many items are on sale. Use their convenient drive-through window as well. And check out the grill at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. The grill is open for breakfast and lunch. Call your order in at 704-435-3259 and pick it up at the drive-through window. Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville, and the Foston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Foston.
Home Folks Cafe is a family business that's celebrating 50 years. The best breakfast in town. Sausage, bacon, eggs, grits, and rice with gravy. Lunch, how about a cheeseburger? Dinner specials during the week. Wednesdays, spaghetti and chicken livers. Thursdays, they rotate meatloaf with salmon patties. Fridays is everybody's special. Prime rib, their world-famous fried chicken. And top that off with a slice of their homemade cakes. Home Folks Cafe is open Tuesday through Friday, 5 a.m. till 8 p.m., Saturdays 5 a.m. until 1 p.m. 209 East Main Street, Cherryville. Call 704-435-9336. Check their menu out on Facebook at Home Folks.
Trusted, tried, and true. Those 3 words represent the highest standards for Kawasaki Mule Side X sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. True means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried, and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
Beam Construction Company in Cherryville is now hiring. Right now, Beam Construction Company has job openings for carpenters and masons. Just apply at their office at 601 East Main Street in Cherryville. Since 1925, Beam Construction Company has been dedicated to building the future of the Piedmont regions of North and South Carolina, from schools to churches to town halls. For more information, call 704-435-3206 or visit the website at beamconstruction.com. Beam Construction Company, dedicated to building your future.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I think we're doing bad picks now.
All right, we're going to do Shelby Heating and Air before that. Call our friends at Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. You know, we've been having this nice little Indian summer. Can I say that politically correct? But it's been warmer than average. That's what we used to say when I was a kid. It's probably something that's going to land me in woke jail. But next week, the weather's going to get cool. You're going to need that furnace. You might want to call Shelby Heating and Air to get it checked out. They're very knowledgeable. If you need a new system, give them a call. If you need, somebody to come in there, repair your system, give it a little checkup, call the experts at Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. Kevin?
I give all my questions to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Tom.
Yes, I would. I'm probably going to be in woke jail.
All right, so woke jail. Here are last week's NFL bad picks. Zach, if you'll computer, go ahead. And let's try this now.
What's that all about?
It's just a fun little 3D effect.
Oh. Bengals don't know how to win this game yet. The Ravens win. If Lamar Jackson plays, the Ravens will win. If he doesn't, it'll be a toss-up. So I'm going Ravens.
Terry?
Bengals.
I'm going Ravens whether he plays or not because that other boy played really good, Huntley.
As Trent Marty says, the Bengals will bangle this game.
Yeah.
We'll go with Cincinnati.
Bengals win 41-21 over the Ravens.
Bad picks.
Yep.
Terry?
Patriots.
I like New England at home. They lost.
I agree. They've got more video coordinators in the booth at home than they do on the road.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Patriots stealing signs. All right.
Bills win 33-21 over the Patriots.
Bad picks.
Those two teams are give
you'll
up
be
less than 20
surprised.
game. They both give up
Ben
more.
does it again. He beats the Chiefs.
Ooh.
I can't say that. I'm going Chiefs. Not at Arrowwood.
Not
Arrowhead.
Arrowwood.
Have y'all seen Mahomes play? Okay.
He's got 30 touchdowns and 4,000 yards.
Not lately. He's not that good.
Tommy.
He's average.
Okay.
Yeah, Broncos at Raiders, Tommy.
Okay, go ahead and get your film splicer ready to go to put Terry on it next week.
Chiefs win 36-10 over the Steelers.
Bad picks.
Just shut him down the rest of the
That's
season.
what I'm saying. But the Bears, who they got? I'm going to take Seahawks because they're playing at home.
Yeah, Seahawks.
Seahawks at home.
Bad.
Yep.
Bears win 25-24
Save Nagy's job.
over the Seahawks.
Cardinals at home. They bounce
They
back.
probably will.
Colts win 22-16 over the Cardinals.
I'm going to go with the Lions riding their high from winning last week.
A streak. Zach picks a streak. Tommy.
Falcons.
Falcons.
No streaks for y'all.
Falcons win 20-16 over the Lions.
Bad picks.
Make Sports Center. Cam Newton is back.
They're getting smoked.
after the Bucks just got shut out.
Yeah, but
how many points will Tom put on the Panthers?
31.
And you going Bucks with a win?
Yeah.
Terry?
Tampa Bay.
The Panthers show that the Bucks are in trouble. Panthers.
Oh,
Huge upset.
Tommy.
Might be the worst pick of the year.
Last week when I said this, but usually you don't do this, Tom.
Huge upset.
You got the Saints right. Don't
Just
just
count
take
it's
it.
Christmas time.
Just
Don't try to
take
give
it.
him a
Take your
Christmas
Saints.
present.
Yeah, take your Saints.
Tommy is
win.
going to be so, not this Tommy, but Brady
Tom.
is going to be so mad from last week.
How many points did Tom Brady score last week?
Tom.
Answer the question.
Tom. Scored a lot
How many
this week.
points did Tom Brady score?
Tom, be quiet.
I got a
Zero.
good one. Right. Zach
Tom's
said 31.
right.
Now
They got
Tom will
32.
answer my question. How many starts has Cam Newton won in his last 11 for the Panthers?
0.
And after
I
Tom,
thought you guys said that Cam Newton's not starting. I thought that Darnold.
they just
is,
come
and
across
Darnold's
the
gonna
phone.
He
play.
just got through telling you.
Yeah, the phone. It come across the phone
I must-
that Cam
I
Newton was
misunderstood.
starting and Sam Darnold would play.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay,
they
I
already
heard that
know
backwards.
that,
I heard that
Newton's coming out.
Basically, Cam's going to start till he turns it over,
Yeah.
and then they're going to put Darnold in.
Yeah.
No, Rule mentions
they
at every
did.
press conference Cam's turnovers.
Tampa Bay.
All right, Yeah, I got Tampa Bay. Chargers and
Buccaneers win 32-6 over the
bad.
Panthers.
Bad picks.
Andre didn't even waste. I didn't pretty even say decent nothing about that. That's terrible. themselves. Terry, Dolphins at Saints.
Saints playing at home. Defense will win it.
Tommy?
I like the Dolphins the way they're playing. They're rolling. They're
There's
playing
the
well.
way to end it, Tom.
I want to pick the Dolphins, but
That's what you said last week.
I would
Terry.
rather pick the Saints.
Yeah, I got the Saints as well.
The whole
Laid an
team.
egg.
Dolphins
Our whole
win
team's out.
20-3 over the Saints.
Bad picks.
The Jets. Even.
Yep.
Jets.
Uh-oh, Kevin.
Y'all went Jets. Shit. We going Jaguars.
That's,
Jaguars.
they're going to get beat.
With an L.
Jets.
With an L.
Yeah.
John.
Jets win 26-21 over the Jaguars.
Bad picks.
I like the Broncos.
Even.
The Raiders barely beat the Browns' third stringers.
Terry.
Who'd you take, Tom?
He took
Broncos.
Denver.
You took the Broncos? Oh, my God.
They don't have a quarterback now.
Oh, Raiders.
It's even.
I'm taking Broncos.
Raiders for me.
Raiders win 17-13 over the Broncos.
Tommy. Rams favored by 3. Who you got in Minneapolis?
I like the Vikings at home.
The horn will blow for the Vikes. Terry.
Vikings also.
Bad picks.
Chargers and Texans. I got Chargers.
Wow.
We blew this.
Yeah,
Chargers.
Guys, be aware that Chargers might be
I
your
went out on a limb
AFC Championship game.
I like 49ers. They're playing well.
Texans. Terry.
They're on the road. Titans win.
Titans hold serve at home.
49ers for me.
Titans win 20-17
Hard to pick.
over the 49ers.
Those are some bad picks.
It's hard to pick. It's hard.
All right.
Kevin, speaking of last week, you, Zach, and me all finished 10-6, and Tom come in last at 7-9.
Well, I just deserved to come in last after my Panthers pick. It's pretty bad.
And we go by overall percentages on our season. Only kind of different people come in at different times, and some people were out. At this point in time, in fourth place is Zach, but 64-49-1. He's 56%. Tom comes in next at 57.2%. Kevin's next at 60.6%. And so far, I lead the way at 63.8%.
Which is a miracle.
It's like doing college, Tom.
It's a miracle.
Always looking down to see where you at.
So we're all 9-7. We're all 9-7 and 8-8.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Well,
yeah, we are the experts.
Tom, you got a 1-game lead on everybody
I do.
in the percentage. 9-7 to 8-8.
I do.
in this past, not counting this past.
Tom, Terry. Sorry.
Before Sunday's game, in his last 7 games, Derrick Henry and Trevor Lawrence each had 1 passing touchdown. In the last 7 games before Sunday, Derrick Henry and Trevor Lawrence each had 1 passing touchdown.
I think Derrick Henry's still in like top 5 rushing, is he not?
Yeah, Henry ain't played
He
like
played
5 weeks. He's
10
still got
games.
as many touchdowns as Trevor Lawrence.
It hadn't worked out so far, but I think it's going to. Did you hear Bill Belichick? I think he's going to be very good, possibly above average. He said
Is that
something.
what Belichick
Is that what he said?
He said that
awesome.
about Trevor Lawrence.
That's great.
Yeah, he said like he's got a chance to be a good player, pretty, maybe really good. Not like Hall of Famer. Crown him.
So you're saying he's Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, he's
No.
not. You're not getting anything out of Belichick on that. All right, let's make some bad picks again. We'll start with Tommy in Orchard Park this week. Falcons at Bills. Bills favored by 14.5. And for some reason, you can get one for $11 off Bills Mafia ticket. Terry, who you got?
Bills. That's simple.
Bills.
I'll go Buffalo too.
We're losing.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no way on God's green earth the Falcons are winning Buffalo, right?
Well,
Right?
we didn't think the Texans would go win
Right.
San Diego or either.
Nope.
All right, game 1 in hell Sunday, Giants and Bears. It'll be 22 degrees in Chicago. Hopefully the devil and his friends will warm
And
it
it's
up.
still
for 'em.
$32 for a ticket for a meaningless game.
Between the Giants and the Bears. That's 2 big city tickets right there, Chicago and New York. $30.
Yeah.
And that's a winnable game for the Bears. That's probably why the tickets are
Andy
so high.
Dalton is starting. I will go Bears.
What's wrong with Fields? Is he hurt?
Yeah. Says he's improving. whatever.
Bears.
Bears.
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna pick the Bears. We're
22 degrees.
We're going 0-2
I should have waited.
out of the gate.
So if it's 22 degrees in a meaningless game, I think I'm going to stay home.
What, is that at 1 o'clock?
Yeah. Chiefs and Bengals playoff predictor here. Playoff predictor.
Boy, the Chiefs are a 4-point favorite at the Bengals. Disrespect.
You think it should be more?
I think it
Who
should
you
be less.
disrespecting? The Bengals or the
I
Chiefs?
think it should be less.
Really?
The Bengals are at home. They're 9-6. They're a game away from being the division
Usually get
champs.
3 at home,
Well,
so they're
pick 'em.
basically saying they're a 7-point dog overall.
And think about it. If they lose, they fall to 4-5 at home.
I was about to say they're 4-4 at home. So I'm going Kansas City. This ain't even a question for me on this one.
I need Kansas City to win, so I'm pulling for Kansas City.
So who you picking?
Kansas City.
You just made the case for Cincinnati there.
Yeah, but I think it is. It
Who
should
you
be a
going,
1-point
Zach?
game.
I'm going to go with Kansas City. I think this might be one of those games like back. You remember when the Giants got to play the Patriots at the end of the year, and they figured how they play. This might be one of them things for the Bengals to see their offense and
Chiefs
might see them
defense is
again.
playing better.
I'm picking. I'm
I was
picking
like
the
Chiefs
Chiefs.
top 5 now.
Picking
I'm
Chiefs.
taking the Bengals.
I'm
Terry
interested
takes
to
the
see.
Bengals in home. All right, Dolphins and Titans, the Ryan Tannehill Bowl.
This should be a good game.
I would have just assumed dip my eyes in acid to watch Ryan Tannehill against Tua Tagovailoa. Zach, who you got? Tennessee's favored by 3.5 in Nashville.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins going in and stealing one.
Well, they've won what, 7 straight? Have they?
Might be 8.
7.
Is it 7?
They were 1-7, and now they're one game out of first.
Their hopes and dreams get crushed in the Music City.
Titans. Me also.
All right,
They'll
how many
be singing
of these
country-
we done in a
They'll be
row?
singing a country music song.
I picked the Dolphins.
Oh, you picked Dolphins?
Yeah.
We'll go Titans then. I feel better.
They'll
about
be
that.
singing a country music song, trying to get their
Now,
house
here's your
back, and
good
their
one.
girl back,
The next one.
dignity back.
Wentz is not playing.
I know.
Who's playing?
They really have no quarterback.
I don't know if they've got
Nobody
anybody.
wants to come and
Nobody
play
wants
with.
to play for Indianapolis.
Yeah. They're 4-4 at home. Here's
Colts
another.
favored at home by 7
No, I know what
over
I'm
the
doing. I
Raiders.
can't not be that dumb.
Yeah, Brissett's in Miami now.
Yeah.
Go ahead
Sam
and pick.
Sam Ellinger is who's second on the depth chart.
Who did he play for in college? I know that name.
Probably Ohio State.
No,
This is garbage.
No, you're garbage. The Raiders are just so hard to figure out too.
He
They're-
played for Texas.
I knew he played. Yeah, I know I've heard that name before.
I definitely.
No quarterback, a 7-point favorite with the third string quarterback.
Yes. Why?
don't make
Because they run
There he
the
is,
ball.
Tom.
They do.
Or Sam Ellinger.
They run the ball.
I think the Raiders are going to go in there and beat a third string quarterback.
I don't think so. I think the running game will keep the Colts in, and their defense is not bad.
I'm gonna say the Raiders go in and take the win.
Raiders on this one. I don't trust third string NFL quarterbacks at all. All right, let's see who's going to do it. Jaguars at Patriots.
Oh,
4 across the board.
4 across the board.
Terry.
Yeah, Patriots.
All right.
Another 4 across the board. Coming up
Belichick.
after that.
Vegas. Somebody will make so much money in Vegas if the Jaguars. All they gotta do is cover by 16.5. Jeez, that's a big spread. Bucks at Jets. Anybody picking the Jets?
No.
No, Tampa Bay.
Tampa across the board. All right, NFC East. Eagles. The Eagles in Washington. Philadelphia favored by 4.5, and it is listed as 65 degrees in the D.C. area.
Nice.
The Eagles just spanked Washington not too long ago. I'm going with the Eagles again.
I agree, Eagles.
Eagles, Washington's done.
I'll take the football team.
Terry with the football team.
Even though they gave up 56.
Let's see it. They'll bounce back this week.
No, they're not.
And I'm not a football man, but they watch them. Watch what they do.
Yeah, you're right. You're not a football man.
They
Wait, Tom, do I need to cut
Wait a
that
minute.
one?
You're
Wait
right.
I need to
a minute.
cut that
Tom,
right
Cut that, or
there.
you're not a
Tom.
football
Cut
man.
that one
I
out.
believe
I'm in first place.
I lead our picks. I believe I lead our
A
picks.
blind squirrel finds
glad
a
we
nut
had a-
every now and then.
Yeah.
Points discussion and defense, and
Yeah.
then Terry brings up that because they're going to
Bounce back.
Just bounce
That's
back.
right.
No,
That's
other,
right. I like
no
that.
other reason.
That's it.
Good scientific analysis.
like it.
Rams in Baltimore. Tom, speaking of bounce back, Ravens in a tough spot here.
Gotta win.
8-7. They're dogs at home, 5.5 to the Rams.
The Rams are trying to get the number 1 seed and get that bye, and I need the Rams to win, so I'm picking the Rams.
I'm also picking the Rams.
God.
Making
Now I know why I always lead this thing. Ravens win. That's not even a contest.
Is Jackson playing? Is he back?
It
He don't
matter.
know. He
It
doesn't.
does not
he doesn't
matter.
know. He doesn't even
Ravens
know.
win.
You don't even know who's playing quarterback. You're
Listen,
just throwing darts.
I'm
at a
picking
board.
the Ravens too.
There you go. See, y'all lost.
Ravens not ruling out Lamar Jackson for a third straight week. Now,
Oh, now here comes your one. That's who
So-
do you pick?
the Lamar thing is, I got it. I'll go Ravens on that one.
Get the line
I was going
on
to say
that,
something
though.
else and I forgot. Oh, what? The Broncos and Chargers?
Yeah.
Chargers favored by 7.5.
That's pretty.
After losing to the
Yeah.
Texans. Host the Broncos in Inglewood. Tommy, who you got?
Give me the Chargers. Now that's a bounce back game. They're at home. Broncos. What are they? Who's playing
That's
quarterback?
what I'm saying. I don't think they've really.
Is John Elway coming down to play quarterback?
Not this game.
Peyton's coming back.
Yeah, is Peyton coming back?
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Chargers.
I think it'll be closer to 7.5 though.
That's what we're looking at here.
Broncos got
I
good
can't.
defense.
There's no way I can take the Broncos. I'm taking Chargers.
I mean, you could have
They're
taken.
getting beat.
There's a way.
Yeah, there's no way. We're talking about bounce back.
They just
Here's
got
your
beat by
bounce
the
back.
Texans last week. That scares you. Ooh,
So Texans and 49ers.
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 Yeah.
Niners are favored by 12.5. They better win this, even though we all picked against the Texans last week and it didn't work out as well at all. We'll go 49ers.
This should be another. Cardinals have been a disaster the last few games.
Yes. 7-1 away. Cowboys 5-2 at home. Cowboys favored by 6 at home. $60. Now remember, both of these teams are in the top 10 in defensive scoring. Very similar teams, but the Cardinals have had some issues lately. They got all their wins early and all their losses late. Terry?
Cowboys.
Tommy?
Cowboys will win that one at home.
Cowboys.
Cardinals shouldn't win. I'll pick Cowboys in that one. Panthers at Saints. Without saying anything, Saints better win that ball game. I'm picking Saints.
Yeah. Even though they're down to about their third. They had Ian Book out there last week.
Well, they scored 3 points last week, and we got a good defense. I hate to do this.
Oh, Lord.
I'm picking the Panthers.
Yeah, you're talking right. If it is a Book starting,
Yeah, they scored 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know who's starting.
because I mean, Panthers defense is
That's what got me. So.
yeah. Because I mean, the quarterback who started was terrible. I mean, he was running for his life. He had
Well, they've
no
got
clue.
9 quarterbacks. Can one of them besides that guy start?
I'm gonna change mine. I ain't taking the Saints. I'm taking the Panthers.
I took the Panthers last week, and they humiliated.
Under
me.
what?
But at least if we get Tom, at least we can be on bad picks together.
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
right. That's right.
Who'd you pick?
I picked the Panthers.
How much?
Okay, Tom, you took the Saints.
Took the Saints. I got to
And-
hope that somebody's playing
okay,
quarterback
there we
besides
go.
Ian Book.
Kevin took the Saints.
I'm going to take them. It says they had 20 players on the COVID list.
Who does?
The Saints did last week.
Yeah, last week.
Against the Dolphins.
But
So-
I mean, that didn't have nothing to do with their offensive linemen. They couldn't block nobody,
Was
and the
any
poor
of them
quarterback
linemen?
had no clue of what to do with it.
This game might. I'm picking the Saints to win like 5-2.
Ooh, that's ugly.
All right, get 4:00 game in hell.
Bible.
Seahawks and Lions.
How about
Lions
that game?
in
Prime time
Seattle.
game.
4:00. Zach.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks.
Put me down for the Lions. Seahawks. I think Tom, conspiracy wise, that Pete Carroll is tanking right now. They lost to a team last week that they were tied with, which gave them a better playoff spot. So I think they're tanking. Lions
Looking
win
at the
this ball.
quarterback because Russell probably wants us out of there.
Exactly. They could trade Russell
And draft a quarterback.
draft a guy.
And you'd be under the rookie scale.
Yep. Vikings and Packers. Sunday night football.
No contest, Packers.
Minus 13.
Kirk
Wow.
Cousins.
As bad as the Packers,
Cousins is not playing.
Yeah, he's
played
not
last
playing.
week.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But when Cousins plays on primetime, he's like 0-40.
Why is
so,
Cousins not played hurt?
I think he's
test
in
positive.
COVID protocol.
He's tested positive.
Yeah, Packers will win. No Cousins.
Now Cousins was unvaccinated. He didn't get the backlash that Rodgers did.
Probably because he didn't lie about it.
That's probably true. I'm going with Packers.
Monday Night Football.
Oh,
Browns
big game.
and Steelers.
Game of the week.
Oh, for Packers.
Game of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I got this one.
I know he's going to go with Steelers.
Big Ben, 25-2-1, and he's thinking this is his last year. And you got the Browns coming to the Steelers. He eliminates the Browns.
He said this is his last game.
He eliminates the Browns
at Heinz Field.
Whoa! Look at the price of the tickets.
He's had a
You see that, Kevin?
He's had a great career against the Browns. I'm not going to take what he should have been in prison, so he shouldn't be winning those games. But I think the Browns will not brown this one away. I mean, they've got better players. They're the better team.
You're not even be in this.
I'm not going to pick it.
I've got.
Who'd you take?
I'm going to take the.
I took the Browns.
I'm going to take the Steelers at home.
Stay with them Browns.
Either Mayfield ends Roethlisberger's career, Roethlisberger ends it on a good note. I believe in fixed TV shows. This is the television show. Browns are out of the playoffs anyway. Roethlisberger wins his last game at home over the Browns. JP, we'll see you next week. KTC Broadcast.